What is going on, people? I'm not dead. I'm still around. I thought I'd take a few minutes and see if anybody else was around. And if not, I'm going to bed. It's been a long day. So, anyhow, oh God. Hey, Marie. That's okay. Feet away. Hope everybody's doing good. I think it's been 3 weeks since I've been on here. What is she going to show me? Anyway, hope everybody's had a good day. I hope everybody's business is going well. Hey, David. I've been kind of out of the loop. What's going on in Kenya, David? Hey, David, by the way. Things just going on, Marie. My dad's been sick. I've been going down there quite a bit. And last week we were on vacation. My wife and I took the first vacation we've had without our children in 20 years and drove down to Charleston, went out on a cruise ship for 4 days, 5 days. My mom's good. My dad's having some eyesight problems, and I'm hoping that they get that straightened out pretty soon. Oh, God. I just been busy. Hey, girl. Hey, Bridget. Why don't you pop in for a minute? You're going to show me something. I was on, I think it was on Valerie's Tuesday, her morning show on Tuesday. I don't remember. It all runs together. No, you're not heading to bed. You were going to show me something. What did you post it at? Roxy, please, honey. I am just not in the mood today. I'm tired. Please get down. Oh, that. He's gonna have a damn fit. You know that. Hey, Hank. Hey, Justin. Uh, Bridget, he's gonna have a freaking fit. You know that. He's not gonna take you to Disney. He's gonna make you stay at home. I don't know what I'm gonna do with you. Anyhow, I just went and picked up my son from work. at the hospital, and I thought I'd jump on for a few minutes and see if anybody was around, and say how'd you do, and see if anybody remembers me. Hank, you sound like you've had a day of it. You haven't upset Mr. Cash, have you? Sorry. Conversing with people. We had a day of it. As soon as he got home, he got to listen to me fussing about it more. Is somebody supposed to come out and look at it?
Hello.
There they are.
Hey now.
There we are.
I didn't even have the volume up.
Oh goodness.
What were we talking about?
You having a rough day already?
I just had to pick up those 2 storage units today, and I'm just like, I did it by myself, and I'm tired.
You get anything good?
I got a laptop. It's probably about a year old.
Hey,
Just
Hank.
some odds and ends. I mean, it was only a $20 storage locker,
Well, you can't go wrong with that anyway.
No.
and I got $9.18, I think it was, in change.
There you go.
What would
I
it
always
take?
love the change. That's the best part. Look, we make money.
And then there's some other odds and ends in there.
Oh yeah, I love the little odds and ends, and especially whenever you can get the change right off the bat.
Yeah. And then there was the other one that was $10. And I was honest to God hoping somebody would outbid me, because that was when I bid on it 2 days ago, there was no bids. And I was hoping somebody was waiting to snag it, from the clutches of death right at the last minute. And damn it, at 11 o'clock,
I
you
hate
won an
that.
auction, and it's paid.
I know.
Yeah, I always do that too. I bet on something. It's like, oh, I hope somebody gets this. Just bet on it. I'm not going to bet no more. Just bet on it. No.
Yeah, I did it just to see if I got it so cheap.
Hey Justin. Hey Mike.
And I,
There's the cat.
yes, she is really on my last nerve tonight, and so is my children. On the other one, it was a bunch of crap, some shoes. I posted a picture of those shoes. Did you see those funky shoes in
I love those shoes. I never find those shoes. It's those shoes that have they have no heel. It almost looks like.
They look like horse hooves.
Yeah. Like, how the hell is anybody walking those things? I have to find them. I have to scroll back up and find all of them, because their things are cool as all get out.
So I got those. Oh, and there was a bundle that was still in the manufacturer's wrap for a 2016. Hey Deb, 2016 Sentra,
Yeah.
and that thing is for like $36 shipped.
Oh wow!
Okay. So I figured it cost about $7 to ship it priority because it's heavy.
Oh, what the?
The no heel shoes. Yeah, those things are hard. That's the thing. I can show everybody. That's the shoes.
They're fugly is what they are.
The things are fugly.
If
Oh,
you
those shoes.
Walk it out.
I just can't imagine, clunking around in those things.
I don't know how the hell anybody walks without like going backwards. I mean, tipping backwards.
And they've got all kind of little sayings on them. God only knows where you'd wear them to.
A stripper club.
Yep.
They fancy. That's right.
What else did I get out of that thing?
No, Hank, them fugly.
Yeah, they're fugly, honey. I posted those pictures and I said, "Is this poshable?" And Maggie says, "They're ugly, but yeah, list them on Posh."
They're still possible.
Um,
That's right, Mike. Deb makes her entrance every time.
Yep.
I got out of the $10 bin. I got enough cables. I think I could stretch a Cat 5 cable between here and your house, Kathy.
Oh God.
Oh, I hate that damn cable.
I know I do. I was so sick of cable. Every
I
time
mean-
we see cable wires.
You know, now the little charging blocks that you plug into the wall and you plug a cable into it. You cannot you can't ever have enough of those.
Right.
No, I can.
Well, we can't because I seem to can't because we have two on the PS4 controllers, and then everybody's got on phones and pads and all that kind of mess.
By the way, you won't have to pick me up till Sunday because they want to go to a card shop Saturday.
Okay.
Anyway,
I'm
okay, our
talking to my
job.
oldest. My oldest. So, and was there anything else? Oh, the store manager he said I should give you $10 to pay for the bin because I was going to have to empty that damn thing.
I just had to hear. I take my $10. Okay.
It was
So was there any deposit on there for cleaning or?
yeah, there was $100 deposit, but I mean I was out of there in 2 hours. So I'll probably make about. There was some other odds and ends in there, and I can't remember what they were. Oh, this is the first. There were 3 boxes of empty liquor bottles.
What?
Someone was having a party.
They were like the upscale vodkas and tequilas and bourbons and all that kind of stuff.
You
Well,
can
somebody's
sell
collection,
those.
yeah.
Yeah. You
Well, they're in the dumpster now.
What?
I didn't think you could sell those. You just rinse them out and ship them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. People buy those
Yeah,
for their
depending on what
collection.
they are. Yeah.
Oh well, I'm
I
going
used to have, I
they're
used
in
to
my-
have them on top of my kitchen cabinet when I drank.
Yeah. Some people. Yeah.
I
Some
used to
people.
collect those when I was
Yeah.
younger. I used to collect those.
Yeah.
Well, I'll go dig about the damn garbage and because they're
Yeah.
outside my house.
Depending on what type they were, look them up because a lot of those empty bottles will go for good money, especially
Well,
like the older the old whiskey bottles.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Depending on what they are. Yeah.
Like Jack Daniels aged, like
Bye,
some
Hank.
year aged like liquor bottles.
Hey, Mike. Sorry, trying to catch up. But I've never seen such. I've never seen. There must have been 50 bottles.
Yeah. I mean, it's
It's
worth
probably
looking up.
it
I
was
mean,
probably-
There must have been $2,000 worth of liquor. You know, if those bottles were full.
too bad they weren't full,
Yeah, right.
I checked them all to make sure they weren't.
huh?
Because I needed a drink before I got finished with that damn thing.
Sounds like
Thank
it.
God it was an inside one with the air conditioning.
Oh yeah, really. Hey, Cindy.
And shoes that looked like they had been worn in combat.
I hate those. That's enough to make you mad. But $10 ain't bad though.
Yeah, I mean, I because I got like $4 and change out of that one too.
See, money already made, baby. Money already made.
And people will say, "Well, you spent a lot of time in there too," and I'm like, "Yeah, but you know what? I have found." Well, like in the $20 one, I found that laptop.
Mhm.
I have found, even though they were broken, I've sold broken cell phones that was stuck up in all that crap. For like $30. So, I kind of like it better. It's better than going to the tables at Cherokee. At the Harrah's Casino over there. At least I'm going to come home with something.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least you already made money off the get go.
Y'all bought one or two this past week, didn't you? Or was that week before last? Sometime you did.
Oh, week before last.
The week before last. Yeah, a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, we made our money back on that one already.
Yeah,
well,
we sold that mirror today.
yeah, we sold the mirror today. She's gonna come pick it up this weekend, and we sold an antenna, some kind of weird antenna, but we've made our money on that one and already in the profit on that
Well,
one.
it's for like microphones and things like that for like musicians. So they use it in concerts and things in that nature. So yeah, we've made our money off of that one.
We still got that pretty little couch we got to pull out and take pictures of, and still debating if I want to sell that sucker. That sucker's nice.
Got a wireless microphone set that we have to sell, which is probably worth $250. Yeah, so
That's like $350 now.
well, it keeps going up in her head, but whatever.
And then Deb helped me with the keyboard and the signatures. I couldn't figure those suckers out. So if anybody knows what the one less reason,
I did. I gave you all that stuff.
I
Yeah.
know that's what I'm saying.
She has it all.
Yeah, but if I
Okay.
got it, like I got stickies on it of where all the names and stuff.
Oh, okay.
If anybody knows the One Less Reason band and want to buy some of their swag that they've autographed or have, I've got the little banner in the back. I got it for sale, so hit me up.
Hey, Cindy. Hey, Cindy.
Cindy's here.
Cindy Y and Cindy R.
Thank you, Justin. I'll hit you back up after we get done.
It's like I said, it's a lot of fun. I mean, I'm exhausted, but it's a lot of fun. Now it's not like y'all where I didn't have to move motorcycles and scooters and furniture and stuff like that. But it's a lot.
It's a lot out of you. It really does. I mean, that's it's quite a bit to unload one of those, regardless of what size it is, especially the temperature.
Yeah. Hey, Karen. Hey, Valerie.
Hey, Valerie. Sorry I missed the show today.
No, we knew where you. They asked about you. We told them where you were.
I was already out trying to get the scrap emptied out.
Yeah, doing it by yourself even is worse because it's the heat and I mean even it's the small things. It's kind of hard to move around by yourself.
Like I said, I was hoping somebody was on to outbid me on that second.
You sound like Marcel. Please outbid me. Please out. But
See, and I thought they were like toys, and it turned out to be those friggin' liquor bottles.
Well,
Or
do
a
you
box
just
of
think
liquor
like when you bid on a storage locker, you get this like sick feeling, like okay, somebody's got to outbid me. It's kind of, and then you're sick because you bid on it. But I don't think you ever really go over that high, though, do you?
I like winning.
I know, I'm the same way.
I like winning, and I'm not like I'm not spending a lot of money. Like I said before, I don't have a place to store all this stuff, and I don't want to get into the storage unit. Being a storage unit renter, and
Yeah, we still are.
there's a bunch of odds and end clothes. I'm just going to run them through the wash machine. And I know a lady that works uptown with one of the not clothing stores, one of the like the homeless ladies and with children, and they try to help them find jobs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's some nice stuff, and I mean, there's some stuff that is once it gets cool they can wear. It's like sweaters and things like that. I did a quick check on them, and they're not selling for really anything. So I'd rather donate them and get a tax credit on them. And
Sometimes you have to.
Sometimes
I'm probably-
you find too, we have to just donate because it's not even worth wasting time on. Yeah.
I think I've mentioned it on Valerie's show. I was at and Valerie, there's a link in the chat if you want to come in, huh? In the group chat on your group. Anyway, I knew I was having these two units come up, and I didn't know what was in them. And I talked to the manager of the local Goodwill, and I said, "Is there anything that you don't want?" And he said, "No, I'll take anything." I said, "Well, I've taken some. There's another one that's on the other side of 485 down in Ballantyne, which is kind of the hotsy-totsy area. And I took a bunch of stuff in there one time, and he said, this is all, don't bring any more." And I told this manager about it. He says, "Will you bring them to me?"
Yeah, I don't see where they even tell you that not to bring anything in because Most of it gets shipped out of everywhere else. It goes
Yeah.
to other states and where you're at. But
Well, he says he tries to go through stuff. He and his two assistants try to go through stuff. And he said it's real quick, like clothes and stuff like that. They're like, and they're pulling really good stuff out of it for their store. And I said, y'all can't buy it. He said, no, that's against the rules. You will get fired
yeah,
for setting stuff back for, like, you know, get your wife or girlfriend or mother to come in and buy it. But he says he goes through and tries to find good stuff for their store. And I said, you don't have very much hard goods. And he's like, we don't get a lot of it in here.
oh wow,
Really?
I'm gonna hook him up.
yeah, you better get some good hard goods there, dude. We send everything. Well, we do ours to a church now. We don't do Goodwill no more.
Right.
It's 2 blocks away from me.
Well, that's not bad. Well, we have a Goodwill, a Starvation Army, or Salvation Army.
Salvation.
Would you quit shredding paper?
And we have a few churches that we do, you know, that we always, you know, take everything to, because most of our churches do the battered women, homeless shelters and stuff like that,
Right.
and or that repurpose program where they give the clothes to the homeless to get jobs and stuff like that. So we'll try to give back to them more than we will Goodwill.
I and men's clothes I take up to it's a shelter uptown, and I take it up there.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
So we got the St. Jude's here, which we got a bunch of those coloring books. I thought about once we get in the profit on those, maybe donate some of those out
Right.
just to move them out of the house, because I mean, we have St. Jude's, they have a lot of things, you know, people there. We have like those therapy coloring books, and I figured why
go to
not.
Ronald McDonald House.
Yeah, the Ronald McDonald House. They're brand new. You don't have to worry about a lot of that. You know, give back to what's going to give, you know, to the community. Right. Goodwill just doesn't anymore here, so it just kind of, I don't even mess
or
with
anywhere
them.
else for that matter.
Yeah, or anywhere else. So we don't really give to them anymore because I just can't. I can't. You're not doing anything for the community, so
Right.
that's just me.
I just want to get rid of it.
Yeah. Sometimes if that's the only place that you have right close to you.
Well, we used to have this veterans. We used to have these veterans. They would come out and leave plastic bags.
Yeah.
And I called them and said, "How about back your damn truck?"
Yeah, pick up for you.
And I said, "Or leave about another 24 bags,
Yeah, I need to.
and I'll hook you up."
I don't blame you. Sometimes you have to, though. I mean, because you get a lot of stuff in that yard, in those storage units that just, I mean, it's just not even worth the time to even deal with sometimes. So it's just better to give it away and let it go to a good cause.
You know, I had this one person call me out on buying these cheap units, and not, you know, I'm getting like 3 or 4 things out of each one of them. Yes, there's a lot of work, but you know what? I think about it this way too, and you tell me if I'm wrong to think about it this way. I always, because mine are so cheap, I always make enough money off of them to pay for them, and I make some money too.
Yeah.
Right.
Sometimes, like one of them, I paid $10 for it. I made about $600 off of the stuff out of it, because they had stuff hidden back there under piles of clothes. Because this literally had piles of clothes, not in bags, just piles. But up under it was some action figures and things like that I sold. But you know what? I was there 3 hours all total. And in Charlotte, I can burn up 3 hours driving to all these thrift stores and whatnot and not find squat.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, and I'd rather do it this way than drive all over town to thrift stores.
Yeah. That's how we are sometimes too. I'd rather do it through storage lockers.
Well, there's so many resellers around this area. We're in so much competition that even if you go to the thrift stores or Goodwills or your Salvation Armies, you're not going to find anything because people have already been there.
Well,
They already
even
got-
well, even doing the storage lockers,
even
we
doing
meet
storage,
resellers
yeah.
there. Like we'll be paying for our storage locker, and there'll be another reseller there to pay for their locker. Right, going, you resell, don't you? Because you know us, and you just have that vibe.
Right.
And they're like, yeah. Then the people are like going, why would you buy this storage locker? Da, da, da. Like, dude, there is money in there. You just don't see it because it's not what you do. And you'll have this whole conversation with these resellers, and there'll be like 3 or 4 of them that hit up in there at that time.
Yeah, but with the storage locker, once you want it, you don't have any competition at that point. So you just go in there and grab it and go. Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you what. If there'd been a reseller in there and said, "Hey, Tom, you want to sell that locker, that second locker I sold?" I'd said, "If you put the $100 deposit up to clean it out, you can have the day."
Yeah,
Yeah.
have it. And
It was just
you'll learn a bunch of the different storage areas, and if you start getting in good with them, you can get some good deals.
well. I've done several. It's been quite a while back. That I'll say, Did you have any not sell? And they're like, yeah, and I've got to clean them out.
Mhm.
And we go look in the door,
Yeah,
and they'll say, sure. And I'll say, well, I'll tell you what, I'll clean it out if I can have what I want out of it.
yeah,
I'll stop by the office. I'll give you a key to the
yeah.
dumpster
And that's exactly what they'll do too.
because they're going to have to do it.
Yeah, and they don't want to.
Yeah, and those people, they're not reselling that stuff. They're not there to.
They're throwing it in the
They're
trash.
throwing in the trash.
That's
so-
Yeah.
because we found some Pampered Chef at our storage unit. They had thrown in the trash, brand new in the box. I mean, they just take that storage unit and just they don't look through it. They just throw it in there. They got to get it cleaned out and get it ready to run again. They could care less.
So we should do a dumpster diving video of our storage facility because you can find some good stuff there.
We have found some good stuff there. We found
They
refrigerators.
said they had a run on people coming in and paying their bills today. The one that I bought for $10, they owed $380 on it.
Oh wow.
There was not people. Listen to Big Daddy here for a minute.
Deep freezer big
If you can replace everything in that storage unit off of 1 month's rent, you need to empty the damn thing out and take it to the dump because I've gotten a lot of them that for the for like $146 for the rent on it for an inside environmental controlled unit. And there'd be $75 worth of stuff in there.
Yeah.
I mean, it just doesn't make sense. Just why they do this kind of stuff. And of course, we've talked about it before. Our all-time favorite, the banker's boxes full of unpaid bills.
Oh yeah, that's the crazy part. We're gonna be about 15 minutes. Can you be out there with them in the 15 minutes?
Yeah, we can get out there.
Okay. We had somebody come and pick up the mirror in 15 minutes. So
That big one.
yeah, that huge one. We sold it today.
Well, it's what 8:30 over there.
Money don't sleep, baby.
Yep, it don't
Money
sleep.
does not sleep. You
Okay,
should know by now, Tom.
You got Beulah laying on the table by the front door.
Mm-hmm. Miss stays with us. Yes, sir. I ain't playing that game. But she came over earlier and put a deposit, so we hold it for her so she can get her a
Right.
truck over here to get it because it needs a truck. It needs a moving truck. And then plus, I told her I had other pictures because she just built her house. So I told her I have other like really nice fancy frame pictures I'm gonna message her with. So maybe I can make some more sales.
It's okay. Well, that's good because that was a big old mirror, wasn't it?
Oh, that thing was 7 foot tall, 5 foot wide.
Wow.
Was it antique or was it just a big mirror?
No antique about it. It was just a huge mirror. Oh, yeah.
Huge.
My mom and dad have a neighbor, or had a neighbor. She's now in not intensive care, in a nursing facility where they have to have 24-hour care.
Mhm.
Anyway, she in her hallway, she had what do you call them? The little seat with the mirror and all the places to hang your coats.
Oh,
You know
one
what
of
I'm talking
those.
So like a vestibule?
Well, it's
No,
like
it's not
it's a piece of furniture. It's got a seat, and then it's got usually they have a big mirror behind, at the back of them, and then they have like the other side they have pegs. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
what you're talking about. It's for
Okay.
mud rooms.
This thing was like, this was from the Victorian picture, Victorian era. It took 7 movers to move that thing out of that house.
Wow.
It was so heavy and so solid, and they were scared of breaking that mirror because that mirror was like you said on that one, 7 feet by about 3 feet wide.
Right.
And my mom said you could look into it and see it was a poured mirror. The glasses got the little waves in it.
Yeah.
A Hawtree. Thank you, Ansley. You're so brilliant. Who was it that? A Waltree. Yeah, same thing. Sorry, Valerie. I didn't see that. Hey, Storage Pirate. Roxy, you just... Lord have mercy. My feline children or my human children. They're just driving me to drink tonight. And unfortunately, I had plenty of bottles, but just nothing in them. But that sucker was heavy and huge, and it was overwhelmed her foyer. Oh, and was your ears burning today, Marcel? The lady at the first unit, I don't remember what her name was. It was like, it was anyway, her parents are French, came over. And I said, I have some really good friends, Kathy and Marcel Renault. And I said, except where they live in Mississippi, it's Renault. She says, her name is like Lestreet or something like that. I mean, that's the American pronunciation of it, but it's Lestray or that pronunciation of it. But I said, first time I saw it, I saw his name was Marcel, and then Renault. And I said, this guy's either French heritage or he's French. So if your ears were burning this afternoon, I was talking about
I
it.
had a little ringing, yeah.
And he didn't.
I thought it was just my wife again.
I'm always talking.
Yeah. Valerie said, I heard that, Big Daddy. You're going to have to pay the piper on that one. Okay. I'm not switching my name from Sweet Daddy to Big Daddy. For those that hadn't heard, when I was on the cruise and we went to the Bahamas and I was walking down these streets and all these people would come out and say, hey, Big Daddy, what you looking for? First of all, I was offended. But then I'd tell them and I ended up buying some stuff from them. But over and over, they'd say, hey, Big Daddy. This one time I heard, hey, Big Daddy, what you looking for? And I heard this deep voice say, are you talking to me? Or are you talking to the little white man? And I turned and looked over my shoulder, and there's about a 6'7" tall African-American dude that, let's see, if you clicked up here and drug me higher like you do in Windows, for the screen and whatnot, you know how you shift all directions. Well, when you took him up to 6'7", he went out sideways too. He is a big old fella.
Yeah.
Anyway, the guy said, it doesn't matter. Either one of you.
That's funny.
And I think
somebody's fine.
Cruise.
Oh, I'm going to start looking at the Norwegian cruise lines because Jody was talking about that on the morning show. I was like, okay, I got done. That took up half my day one day. I'm like, thanks, y'all.
Am I muted or y'all? Am I muted?
No.
Okay, I had you muted. What were you saying, Kathy?
I said I was looking up cruise lines after you came back from your cruise, and Jody was talking about Norwegian cruise lines, and
right.
They have that all inclusive where you can do the shoreline credits, the open bar, the steakhouses, and all that stuff. Everything's included for the same price.
Right.
I spent like half a damn day looking.
Oh yeah, you can fall down rabbit hole. But you got to think of one too. When you go to Norwegian, is real. I mean, it's getting up the price point.
But they have some nice like balcony rooms though.
Oh yeah.
Now, did y'all stay in a balcony room or?
Oh
what?
yeah. I got a video. I got to finish putting together. I'm gonna put it up on my channel.
Oh, cool. So
It was-
whenever
was-
you did yours, did you upgrade or did they upgrade you automatically?
Roberta saw that they had some cabins, balcony cabins available about 2 weeks before we left, and she called them up and she said, "What would it cost to upgrade us?" And they said, "Oh, about $240." And Roberta said, "Okay, here's my credit card number."
Oh,
And it was worth it because we sat a lot out on the balcony
Oh yeah.
watching the ship, just watching the water go by. Because I only saw one ship at night off at a distance, and then we were in the Lido deck in the where the buffet is, and I saw one a tanker off at a distance. It was pretty cool.
Oh,
I bet. I would never leave that deck. I would probably stay on that on that balcony
yeah.
and
That's
never
what we normally
leave.
do anyway.
We stayed out there most of the time because, I'm old.
Me too.
We went up to the main dining room and had dinner, and we went to the shows. And Roberta played the hell out of bingo because she liked it, and that's fine. We had a good time, and then we just go back and sit on. Even at night, you couldn't see squat except because of the lights from the ship. You could see the wakes that the ship's generating and the white caps and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And when you get down into the Bahamas where the water's a dark blue, it's really pretty at night.
Oh, I bet. Oh my God.
But it was
They ain't gonna get no work done tomorrow, Tom. Thanks. Hey, my twin sister.
Anthony, that is a USS Yorktown it was sitting across the harbor from us.
Hey, Liz.
And that's a World War II. Hey, Liz. And you can tour it. There's a submarine over there too you can tour, and a Navy gunship of some sort you can tour.
Oh, wow.
And Cub Scouts, Boy Scouts, and Girl Scouts, and certain religious, some churches have like boys organizations, like the Baptists had royal ambassadors and whatnot. And I think that the Church of God has, I don't remember, they have a boys program too. They can camp out on it. They can make book accommodations, and you actually sleep in the berths that the sailors slept in.
Oh, wow.
And because our Boy Scout troop went and camped down there, and I said, "You didn't ever feel like you had somebody watching you?" And he said, "Not even get that." And he said he had like 4 boys sleeping in one berth because they were afraid that a ghost was going to come walking by or something like that. No, I didn't have time to dive.
That looked like that was fun, though. I mean, did you do like any of the specialty restaurants or?
No, we didn't. We were going to do the steakhouse one night, and we just went into the dining room and ate. There was a show going on, so we wanted to go see the show. They have a Guy's Burger on Carnival.
Yeah.
And if you ever go on Carnival, you must eat a Guy's Burger. 'Cause I'm not a big burger person.
Is he cooking it?
No, he doesn't cook it.
Well, then hell no, I ain't gotta have it.
Well, let me tell you what, it was good, especially every time you take, because what do they do is they hand you a bun with a patty on it, and the patty is cooked perfectly. It's not dry, but you can get it with cheese or without cheese. And then you take it over to a bar and you start adding stuff to it. And I had to eat mine with a fork and knife.
Oh, I bet.
Because I had all kinds of vegetables on it, and lettuce and tomato and all this kind of stuff. And
Well, I know Jody was talking about doing the one from like New York. It's a 7-day one, which I would like the 7 day because I would want to spend a little more extra time out there just for
Yeah.
get the hell away from everybody. But
well, it was like I said. Well, first of all, we were trying it out in the port
yeah, all right.
because people they're having an issue down there. Okay, when the ship's in port, they don't make announcements over the intercom because if they do, it just echoes down through historic Charleston, and so everybody's raising hell about that. So they do what silent departure or arrivals, and they don't do any announcements over the intercom.
Mhm.
And I understand that. But that damn cruise ship is bringing a lot of freaking money to Charleston.
Oh, I bet.
So they're not sure whether they're going to stay there or not, and they don't really have a real terminal. So Roberta and I are like, the old Navy base is on the other side of the Ravenel Bridge. Why not move it back there?
Yeah.
And that way, you shouldn't have problems with it echoing down through, because you can see that damn cruise ship from just about any place in that town.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, it's a pretty big size cruise ship.
Oh, wow.
But they have and I ate a lot of ice cream because they have a 24-hour ice cream dispenser.
24-hour ice.
Every time I walk past there, I'd get me a little cup, a little cone.
Actually, Marcel's over here even laughing. So
What are they laughing about? I've been watching that.
she's talking about fresh bananas. You know that they call me crazy on the chat all day.
About the cucumbers, the dill pickles, now we're talking about fresh bananas.
What is with these people?
You know these damn women.
Yeah, the 7 days, now, we went on a 5-day one with the boys. And it was like a day at sea, 2 places in Mexico, and then 2 days at sea back. And the days at sea really are the most fun.
Yeah, I think they would be.
Because they have lots and if you've got little kids that you want to take, or even teenagers, they got stuff for them to do. They've got their own on Carnival, and pretty much all of them do now. They have a group for preschool, a group for elementary kids, middle school kids, high schools, and they keep them occupied all day long, and that's
That's
part of
good.
the deal.
That is
So you can
good.
go do your thing and they can go.
Right. I talked to this one guy, his kids, they were doing the days at sea, they were doing their stuff.
Yeah.
And then they came back to the cabin in time to get dressed to go to the dining room to eat.
That's cool.
Hey, Snobby.
Hey,
Snobby.
Snobby.
That's cool though. I saw, the different stuff that you can do on there, which is kind of cool. But I'd be sitting on the balcony the whole time. I'd
Yeah.
never want to leave the room.
Just relaxing, and if you don't even want to leave, you have room service.
Yeah. That would
But
be
Carnival has this chocolate chocolate lava cake, and it's about this big around, and it comes with a little thing of ice cream, vanilla ice cream, about the same size. And you say, well, that's not very much. Oh, yes, it is.
Uh-huh.
It's rich. It will send you in a damn diabetic coma.
You'd have no choice but to stay in the damn room.
I love that. That's what I always get for dessert in the dining room is that. And that's the only place I can get it.
Well, I'm glad that you went. I think that's kind of cool, though. Now I'm searching for them. So
It's now y'all in Mississippi. They run them out of. I don't know how far Mobile, Alabama is from you. They run them out of New Orleans,
Yeah, but they only go to like Cozumel and all that. I don't
Yeah.
want to go to Cozumel and all that
You
I
really
want-
have to go.
area.
Now, see, they have another one, the same ship, the Sunshine, that goes to Bermuda. And it's 2 days at sea and then a day and a night in Bermuda and then 2 days at sea coming back. So that gives you a whole day and night to do this, to do the daytime activities and do the nighttime activities in Bermuda.
Yeah.
And then they do another 7-day cruise. They do a 7-day cruise that you steam for like 2 days, and then you got 3 days like port, and then a day back or something like that.
Cool.
So we recommend it to anybody. Unless you just, and if you feel like you might get seasick or something like that, there's a product called Bonine. That's what you want to take.
Yeah, I remember you talking about that.
Not Dramamine. Dramamine will make you sleepy. Bonine knocks the seasickness off, but it doesn't make you sleepy. And it was like I said, we highly recommend it. It was good. The food was good. The entertainment was really good. The guys that did the bingo, they were as funny as hell. They just kept you going, and they would just people would be sitting up here like this, and but at the end of if you played bingo, they did this clapping it out, going once, going twice, going 3 times. If you don't clap, they will stop and point your ass out and say, let's do this. And one of the guys would go there and sit beside them to make sure they did it, just all in fun and that kind of stuff.
Oh, Lord.
But the shows are really good. They have some really good singers on there. And on this one, they were doing like family game night. I haven't watched it on Nickelodeon in a long time, but they apparently they do a game show where they're playing like Milton Bradley games.
Mm-hmm.
And they I guess they've got a sponsorship from Milton Bradley, so they're basically doing what they do on the television show here. And they gave away a bunch of toys, a bunch of games.
Oh,
One
cool.
guy-
Did y'all win anything?
No, because we didn't participate in that. Because I'm not, I could be an extrovert. I am not that extrovert.
Love y'all about that.
But they played the kids version, and then they played the adult version. Which, when I say adult version, it was just all adults, and it was like Trivia Pursuit and that type of thing. And they gave away. They gave away like the person that won got like $3,000 worth of games.
Wow.
Dang. See, I'd be all about those games.
See, it was based on points, and the girl that actually won, she had like 43,000 points, and she was going crazy. And the party that was with her, which was about 25 people, they ran up on the stage, and
That'd so be me.
the guy said, those are points, those are not dollars.
Dang it. Oh, that sounds like fun, though.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they're talking about, Mike, about the
It's more
pickles.
than a pickle, Mike.
It's more than a pickle.
I'm in a pickle right now. Let me tell you.
We've gone on cruises with like one other couple, and that was fun. I just think it would be really fun to do it with, not a tremendous group, but 5 or 6 couples. Because
Yeah.
like the sitting on the balcony,
Yeah.
Roberta and Kathy could go sit on the balcony and watch the water go by. And you know what? That's really relaxing.
We'll be right back.
We'll be
Okay.
right back. You're here.
You there? Don't break it. 7 years bad luck.
Buddy, so.
If you hear gunfire, call the cops.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll be back.
So anyhow, if I can get this thing to work, because my mouse just quit working. There's the link if anybody else wants to pop in for a few minutes because I'm not staying on late. I'm tired. Oh, damn, it's 9:43. I've almost been on.
You've been on for almost an hour.
Yeah. So what's been going on with you, Deb? I'm sorry, you just got pushed to the side.
Oh, no.
But you know, me, Kathy, me and Kathy can take over, and me, Kathy, and Tara can take over a show.
No, I'm just sitting here and listening to the thunder and lightning.
Or is it?
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
had to.
before I had to go and check the windows because we have the windows open because it had cooled off a lot.
How's your mom doing?
She's doing good. Doing a
Good.
lot better.
She making improvement each day, type thing.
Yeah, she actually went to work for a while the other day. And then she's going tomorrow. Tomorrow? No. Saturday. She just can't sit at home all the time.
Right. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
You know, Liz says I was backing up to the chat because I've been accused of not scrolling back up.
Oh,
But I-
really?
I went back up and it says I'm trying to ship over here and listen to a Tom story. Y'all talking produce. No, I wasn't talking produce. The ladies are talking produce.
No, Tom had nothing to do with that.
Yeah, I didn't have anything to do with the produce. How's your books doing?
They're doing good. Yeah,
Good.
they're doing pretty good. I'm working on some journals. I have to figure out how to do the shapes, like the like the days to
Right.
write stuff in. So I'm trying to figure out how to use Google Slides.
Is that like
It's like a Word, or what's the other one called?
I'm trying to think of it
Something
too.
Point.
PowerPoint.
Yeah. But it's with Google. And then they have like all of these things you can add to it. So I got like a 14-day free trial on this thing called Glyphy.
Right.
So I'm using that.
You know, I can't see if anybody pops in with your big head in the way. Lay down. Well, that's cool. You're using that to working on these journals?
Yep.
Well, good. I've been messing around with a video editing program, and it's called let me look it up and I'll tell you what it's called because it just totally blasting out of my mind. Lightworks.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've heard of that.
It's a little bit more complicated than Movie Maker, which is what I usually do my videos in. And I need to learn something. I got to keep the gray matter going. What does Mike talk? Mike. Get down. Just lay there, baby. Just lay there. Okay? And don't hit any buttons on my laptop. I mean my keyboard. because she likes to lay. It doesn't matter who's working at either one of these desks. She likes to be the center of attention, and she likes to roll. And when she does, she hits like all the function keys. That's crazy. If you,
What is it? What is that called? A face roll or a face palm or something?
I don't know. It's called freaking out because I'm trying to figure out. You might see me every once in a while, just all of a sudden start banging on my keyboard, getting all these numbers, trying to get my keyboard to come back. She pouted when I came back, Anthony.
Who pouted?
Roxy, for about
Oh.
2 hours, she would not come to me.
She was mad at you.
Oh, that's right. It is 2 a.m. or almost 3 a.m. in the UK. Oh, that's okay. I want to do an afternoon show here so I can have. What, my God, are you looking at? I'm sorry. My cat, all of a sudden, she jumped up and started staring at something. And I'm like, oh, my God.
I thought you were talking to one of your sons.
I don't want to. I
God.
don't want to have somebody walking through my house that's not here, but here. I'd like to have a show with my European friends on it, so they're not up at 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah, that's right. We've been talking about doing that.
Yeah, and Snobby, I mean, he's been on shows, and it's 4:00 in the morning there, and some of the other guys, that are in Europe, they're even later. Yeah, I'm sure it is quiet because we don't want Dusty to come in there and just lay a whooping on you. That's his wife, Dusty Blonde. But
Yeah, I've watched some of her videos.
yeah, the first thing I popped on, I was looking at her videos, and the first thing that pops up is she's at a Steam show.
Oh yeah, I saw that and I was like, oh my God, Nikki. Ooh, I have to be quiet. I'm like yelling over here. It's like almost 10 o'clock.
The video that Nikki posted where they were doing the sparks out of the steam engine,
Oh yeah, that was cool.
that was cool. I'd like to know how they do that. Nikki needs to get Daddy out there with the steam engine and do a demonstration during the daylight so people can see what's going on.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to lose the effect of all the sparks, but I think it was just cool as all get out.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's her latest video. So, Popular Picker, check her out. And don't forget, every morning is Valerie's program, Chick Picker, 9:00 Eastern on her show.
Okay, we're back. Nobody got shot.
Did you get some money?
I got some money. I got $150.
Wow.
Nice.
Phew.
Y'all can eat for another week.
At least another day.
Another day? What
At
the hell
least
do
another
y'all
day.
eat?
You know how much I eat, Tom.
I eat a lot, Tom.
See, no, that is one of jumping back to the cruise thing. That's the thing that'll kill you on a cruise, is because the buffet is always open until about 9:30 at night, and then there's room service.
Oh, Lord.
So if you get peckish at any time, you just run up there and get it. Now, the cabin that we were in, which we called it our cabin, so if we go back on, we will only go back on that cruise if that cabin's available, because we were on deck 7 and the buffet is up on 9 directly above us. So we literally walked down about 4 doors and cut a corner and got on the elevator and came out in the lobby where the buffet's at.
Oh,
that's
hell
nice.
yeah.
If you just walked out of our cabin into the hallway on the port side where we were at, and you walk to the other end of the ship because it's a straight shot to the other end of the ship. Halfway down the ship is where the is an elevator, and you go in it, and you go down 2 floors, and when you come out in the lobby of the restaurant, the restaurant, there's 2 restaurants on that ship. One is it's called Anytime Dining. Whenever you want to go eat, you go and put your name on the list. We always had on the preset dining where it's 8 real time. Everybody works off of Eastern.
No, we don't. We were on.
That's the only time that matters.
That's right.
But that's where we were in the set time, so we ate at 6 o'clock every afternoon, every evening.
Oh, okay.
That gives you time to go to the show and then hit second or third dinner.
Anyway, second or third, please.
If you continue, like I said, you leave our cabin and continue down the fort corridor to the front of the ship and catch the elevators there. They come out at the liquid lounges where they have all their musical shows and stuff like that, the bingo and whatnot. So it was real convenient.
Yeah.
Because there's some of those decks you get on, you can't go from the front to the back because there's kitchens and stuff in the way.
Right.
So the day we departed, before we left Charleston, they do the drill where they teach you about your station that you go to in case there's an issue and they have to evacuate the ship, i.e. the Titanic. They had a bunch of people to fall out because it was just so hot, and you're right on top of each other because they want like 5 rows on this little outside corridor in front of the lifeboats.
Oh God.
So they had some people falling out and throwing up and all that kind of stuff, but that was the worst thing. And you have to do that because they scan your little card.
Really?
You have a card that you get into on Carnival they call it the sign and sale. You don't use cash. You scan your card, and it either goes to your credit card, debit card, or you can go in and put cash in on it, so it credits from it.
Okay.
But
Cat butt.
yes,
Yeah,
Lord,
but-
he is really getting into my business tonight.
I'm sending Google eyes so you can put on her butt.
But
Yeah, the googly eyes.
it was pretty cool. And drinks are about $7. Regular. I call them girl drinks. The festive-looking drinks. There's if you get the festive drinks without the alcohol, they're still $7.
Thank you for giving me the
You're giving me the
alcohol.
Yeah, right.
I took a bottle of wine, never opened it.
Oh God.
I ended up leaving it for the girl that was our steward. I left it for her. And
Now, so did you have to tip?
yeah, we do that all online. It's automatically.
Okay.
And the tipping can kind of get pricey, but we also left like our maitre d'. She got us a table for 2, so we tipped her extra, just a little something extra. And
Yeah.
our room steward we tipped extra
Okay.
because she did a really good job of, keeping like ice. We had an ice bucket. She kept ice in our ice bucket. That type of
That's
stuff.
cool.
Oh,
That's good.
Oh man, y'all are up late.
I
You're up
know.
late.
It's only 10 o'clock.
We're being rebels.
It's late if you're old.
Damn, Tara.
I went to an auction tonight.
Oh, did you buy anything good?
I bought a few things. It wasn't like a super great auction, but I thought I'd go check it out. They got these 50-day auctions here in town.
Oh, cool. So you're just checking out.
I mean, Jim got like one of those. Jim got one of those vegetable oil lamps. Those hanging ones that the oil drips down on the fishing line.
Ooh,
Right.
He got one of those for like $5.
oh, wow.
And I got some other boxes of some small stuff. I can't remember it all. Just some like small stuff. About one of those Earthway cedars. Those do okay if you can get them cheap.
Oh,
If you ever see them, they usually. If they have like all the plates with them, they do like $100. If they have like a one plate with them, I mean, they do like 50 to 60. Anyway, so I went and did that,
You let everybody know
and we ate
there
at
was a new
least.
player in town.
Oh yeah, I don't talk to people. I mean that, and we went and ate at Lee's.
At where?
Lee's,
Oh,
Lee,
Lee's famous
Oh,
recipe.
Lee.
yeah, Lee's.
How was it?
Yeah, Jim Brandon's like, he's at the auction. He's like, I feel like eating chicken. I'm like, well, you want to go try that Lee's? It got a really bad Yelp review in town here, but actually it was pretty good. It was clean and everything, so that's important. So when he walks in, he goes, yeah, I want to go to General Lee's Chicken. I'm like, I don't think they call it General Lee's Chicken, but okay.
No, the one down here in Rock Hill has they have livers and gizzards, fried livers, fried
They have it.
gizzards.
They had it here too.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't eat that. I don't like chicken, but I had the fish and it was okay.
well, we have that here. I've
What's
never
that?
seen that Lee's.
No,
Yeah, we don't have it here
you
either.
got Kentucky Fried.
Yeah, we have Kentucky turkey.
our KFC.
But every
not
town
around
here has them.
Huh.
So do you live in Kentucky?
Every
You have
town
a
has
Kentucky Fried Chicken?
Here. I don't. Well, maybe over by Elizabethtown there's a KFC. I don't know where there is one. There's not one in the town I live in. I can tell you that. Everything is Lee's Chicken over here where I live.
Right.
Oh wow. Well, remember that's how it was in Georgia. Everything was Bojangles,
Oh,
and they had the worst chicken ever.
They suck.
Jim said actually this Lee's Chicken, he thought it was a little better than KFC.
Oh, really?
Anyway,
Well, it don't take.
or at least the
much anymore.
KFCs that we ate at in Wisconsin. I don't know.
But he don't like the KFCs here. It's greasy.
Okay. Here's a review of KFC. Their food is greasy anymore. Their potatoes taste like they came out of a box, and their biscuits are normally cooked to damn death.
Hey, I like their biscuits. Back off.
Hey, now if you can get them fresh, they're okay.
Yeah, their biscuits used to be really good. They're not that good anymore.
Ours are. Here,
Oh, I will say that
ours are good.
that
Here.
Lee's biscuits, they were really good. That Lee's biscuits were really good.
Dude, our KFC's off the chain, man.
Now y'all see.
I do.
Y'all won't. If Jim was around, he would probably remember it because he's getting on up there. He's long of tooth.
I'm trying to say that.
KFC used to not have
John
biscuits.
says you're old.
They didn't have biscuits. They had like the rolls, like dinner rolls.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember those.
Oh, do you?
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Well, you're telling how old you are.
I'm almost 50. I'm 49 years old. I ain't got no shame. I am
But,
proud this good at 49 years old.
their mashed potatoes just.
Yeah, their mashed potatoes suck.
Yeah, and that gravy just
Yeah, they taste like instant ones.
Yeah,
instant with black pepper.
Yeah, they.
Ugh.
yeah.
It used.
And their macaroni and cheese, it's just like, could you cook it any longer?
Yeah, their macaroni and cheese does suck.
Yep.
It got to the point that the Food Lion. Well, we had a Bilo here in Charlotte, and they've closed all of those down. Their fried chicken was better than KFC's. A grocery store.
Oh wow.
The Food Lion's chicken is better than KFC's. Actually, they closed the KFC that was right up the road from us.
I love you, Ansley.
What is that hateful child saying now?
She says that I am beautiful hot. And I'm a hot mess today, so
Oh, that's what.
it's hot and
Michelle
sweaty.
said.
So did you like the auctions there, Tara, as far as did you get a feel for them compared to where you used to?
Well, this was well, I haven't been to any on-site auctions. I just went for the moment to this. It's an auction house, so it starts at like 6 and they wrap it up around 8. It's your typical auction house stuff where you get a lot of. I saw it up north too. You get what I call a lot of resellers, and they're selling off their extra stuff at auction. You know, you get like this. It's definitely is an auction house feel where you have resellers that are selling their own stuff.
Okay, I got it.
That's cool. I went and checked it out. It was. I would go back. Well, sure. It's on Thursday night. You know, I'd go back and check it out because you never know what might show up there. But it was okay. There was a lot of crap there.
Yeah.
You know, it was like rummage sale where they have boxes of like crap glassware or just tchotchkes, you know, like statues that aren't really worth anything and stupid stuff like that. I bought a pair of leather motorcycle chaps for like $6. They look like decent ones and they're made in the USA. They're not like branded Harley or anything.
Oh, okay.
I bought a couple old advertising soda crates.
Oh,
I bought these they're like when newspapers would do those blocks with the stamp, you know, for doing their ads when they lay out their ads on the type paper, you know what I mean? Okay, I bought a box full of those like advertising blocks, which there were some interesting ones in there. I haven't done really good on them, but I bought it anyway. What else did I get? I bought that Earthway cedar. Those do okay. Jim got that oil lamp.
well, that,
Jim got
can't beat that.
that's one of those vegetable oil lamps, you know, where they run down. Well, you put mineral oil in it,
Yeah, that
and
thing's-
it runs down. It has like, you know, fish line on it, so it makes the drips to go down in the tray.
yeah, you don't see
Um,
them no more. Those things are cool.
Yeah, they used to do all right. I mean, this one doesn't have usually it has the lady with the pitcher.
Mm-hmm.
This one has a guy that kind of looks like a conquistador. I don't know how he'll do, but it was fine. Anyway. Yeah.
Did you take the chap with you?
Yeah, Brandon went. Oh, Brandon bought a box of these. They're from Daytona. They're like these. They're new in the packages. They're like these. You know, like front license plates. If you're in a state you don't have a front license plate, it's like, you know, it's like Daytona International Speedway, horsepower, or fast lane. They're just like these like stupid little advertising plates.
Cool.
He bought those. He's gonna try to list them or whatever.
That's cool.
Yeah, I did. I only spent $82, so I really did not buy very much stuff. There was a lot of stuff that was just crap,
Yeah.
but it was interesting, you know.
It was a fact finding.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
They
to
have
go
them
and
every
see what they're
Thursday.
selling.
yeah, they have them every Thursday, and they do the typical thing that because this was how it was up north. When the crowd starts getting thin, then the auction house starts wrapping it off. You know what I mean? Like, okay, well, we'll do that stuff next week. You know. Anyway. If you've ever been to those kind of auction houses, you know, they're pretty. Even from me being 800 miles south, it's like, oh, okay, they're gonna do that. Oh yeah, okay. If you want anything, just ask to pull it up choice. Otherwise, we're gonna wrap it up for the week.
Yeah. I hate that. Like, just get rid of it. Come on, dude.
We're here now.
Yeah, well, you know, they got consigners there. You know.
Well, hopefully you'll find.
They had this table there that had these it had these new in box outdoor landscaping speakers. And I'm like, oh, are you gonna do that table? And he's like, no, we're gonna save it for next week. Unless you want to offer an opening bid to this guy here who owns this stuff, and then maybe he decided to auction off. I'm like, nah, I'll just wait till next week. Cause I don't like I gotta throw out a number now to see if you guys are gonna auction it off. I'm like, I'll just wait till next week then.
Yeah, I'd be.
Anyway.
Well, I don't like auctions like that. That kind of that turns me off sometimes because that's how our auction.
They had a list of rules when you're sitting there at the auctioneer's podium. There's like a list of rules. One of the rules is if you're a seller and you buy back your item, you still have to pay the commission on it. So
Oh.
like, well, you know what's going on here. Anyway, but she's cool. That's all right. Anyway.
I want to buy back the same
I'm
myself.
like, I'm not buying that back.
Yeah, well, they're bidding it up because they don't want to sell it for too cheap, you know. So, but sometimes when you do that, you end up buying back your own item,
Yeah, that's so crazy too. But
you know.
ours is like that here too. They'll do
Oh my
that.
God, they had. I will tell you this. I bought one of these plants you plant outside. When I left Wisconsin, our plants up there are on clearance. So we bought. I call them elephant ear plants. They're like the plants that got the huge leaves on them, you know. And they were on clearance in Rylander for like $1 a plant. So I bought a couple. They auctioned them off down here, and they were selling them for $22 a plant. I'm like, geez, Jim, if I'd have known that, I'd have bought all those clearance elephant ears up in Rylander and hauled them south with us. But oh well.
Yeah, people love those elephant ears down here.
Yeah. $22 a plant they paid for them. I was like, what? Anyway. They're auctioning off, you know, and it's your typical nightly auction. They're auctioning off, you know, bags of green beans and stuff like that.
Oh, I didn't tell you that I got a
I wore
bright pink fake Christmas tree.
You got what?
I got a bright, in one of the units, I got a bright pink Christmas tree.
I so love that.
Is it vintage or is it new? Is it newer or is it real old?
I don't have any clue.
Oh, you need to send that to me.
Is it a tinsel tree?
What does that mean?
Is it aluminum? Is it aluminum?
Oh no. It's the plastic fibers.
Oh, okay.
Aluminium? No.
Aluminum.
Yeah, is it aluminium?
No, but it's bright pink. I mean, it is.
That
it
probably
is
sell
pink.
for something.
Yes, please.
I think I'm gonna put it on. I'm gonna put it on local.
If not, I won't.
Yeah.
Did she say she wants it?
I won't
Yeah.
pink Christmas tree.
We don't put up a Christmas tree.
Why do you want a pink Christmas
I
tree?
love pink. Oh my gosh. I would put it up just for the hell of it.
I want to get
The kids would love it.
I'm gonna get a white one because I'm gonna do that Trump Christmas tree. So I want it to be red, white, and blue.
I gotta find.
Oh.
I'm gonna do 2 Christmas trees this year.
I'm gonna find you.
I'm gonna do a regular one and a Trump tree. I know. I gotta start buying some ornaments for the other one.
I think the flea market we had, or not, it's not a flea market. It's where they had those little, what the hell are they called? I can't even think of what they're damn called now. They had the store where they put all their stuff in, not consignment stores. What are they called? The one in Hernando. Oh my God! Stop looking at me. What are they called?
Does it matter?
Simon,
But they have a bunch of Trump stuff in there. They had the socks, the toilet paper. Remember the stuff we were going to buy for Nikki?
The antique store.
The antique store, yeah. They got
Yeah,
consignment
antique
store,
store.
yeah. But they had a whole bunch
Oh
of
yeah.
stuff in there. I'm gonna go in there, check it out, and find something for you and send it to you.
They have this thing here in my town called the Peddler's Mall, which it's like an indoor flea market. It's antiques, it's junk, but you got these Trump booths, and they have like these metal signs like Trump 2020, you know, with some witty Trump saying. They're like $5 a piece, so I had to buy a couple.
Oh, how could you not?
Yeah.
I'm all about
At this auction house, there were 4 flags, like behind the podium in the auction. There's 4 flags. One was one of these American flags with the blue line, which I think is for fallen cops.
Mm-hmm.
Then there was 2 Trump 2020 flags on each bookend, and then the middle flag was this combination of an American and Confederate flag, like the American flag was bleeding into the Confederate flag.
Oh wow.
Anyway, yeah, it's something. Jim bought these. Oh my God, he's such a hick.
Have that up.
He bought these. They're Confederate flag like statues made out of resin. He bought them for $1. He's like, well, how could I not buy them?
with cross.
With cross pistols. Yeah.
I was in the other room
There.
on the other computer finishing up a gunbroker sale.
Oh, Tom said you're old.
Well, he's
Do
right.
you remember KFC's having dinner rolls instead of biscuits?
I guess I never paid that much attention.
Oh,
I just eat whatever's put on my plate. I'm not a fussy eater.
all right.
If you didn't eat what was put on your plate when I was a kid, you got the daylight beat out of you.
No, we ate what was put on our plate, or we went hungry.
That's how my kids were taught to. You gonna eat what I give you, or you just ain't gonna eat nothing. No, them
Yeah.
the grandbabies totally different.
Oh yeah, or like
If my mom let you off with just you're gonna go hungry, I'd have been so happy.
my mom would do like, oh, you don't like this? Well, then you're not very hungry, are you?
That's right.
Then you're not really very hungry, are you?
You don't need to eat then, do you? I guess
My mom was when it came to discipline, my mom liked a very hands-on approach, if you know what I mean.
Oh, boy.
mine was.
Hey,
always,
well, when she wasn't using her,
mine was. Guess what you're getting for breakfast tomorrow if you don't eat dinner tonight, baby.
Did you did you ever
yeah,
watch
I've heard of
Mommy
that.
Dearest?
No, I hate wire hangers.
Yeah.
To tell you the
No,
truth. I won't leave it out.
when Christina was a little girl, she didn't want to eat whatever it was that they made her for dinner,
Mhm.
and her mother said, "Fine, go to bed."
Yeah.
And the next morning for breakfast, they had warmed it up and set it in front of her.
That's what I did. That's what I did with my boys. If you're not gonna eat it tonight, it's gonna be for breakfast tomorrow. And I did that. Trust me, my boys will tell you. Now I do hate wire hangers. I will not have them in my house. I hate them.
Marcel,
Beat nobody with them.
she doesn't beat you, does she?
Accident all the time.
She don't beat you with a wire hanger.
I just don't like wire hangers.
I don't like them either. I throw them away.
I do too. Like, yeah, no. Mm-mm.
They
I,
don't have to be
I remember
wood.
when
I
that's all
use,
there was. Okay.
I use the
Eating-
plastic ones, but yeah, I don't really like wire hangers either.
yeah,
Dude, when I was a kid, if all I had to do was eat the food reheated, I mean that's a walk in the park.
Yeah.
right. Hell, at least it was food.
When my mom said, she said, "I'm gonna beat you in the next week." You believed time travel was possible.
Because I will show you. God dang.
Dang.
Hey, I remember here's a good saying for your kids. Hey, don't put your hand there, or or your fingers are just gonna get broke. when you try to block the whip. Yeah.
Well, that's
Of course, I will tell you this. I mean, it sounds like, oh my God, you know what? But I'll tell you, you didn't get disciplined often. You toed the line. When you got disciplined like that, you don't make many mistakes.
Yeah, don't go get the switch off the tree that's this big because they're gonna beat the shit out of you with it, and then go find a bigger one to beat you.
There you go.
You know, when
You become very careful.
when you start talking about grandparents and how they treat their treat their grandkids, my mom and dad used to have this L-shaped sectional sofa, and it must have been 13 by 13. It was huge. And Sergey was about 4, and he jumped up on that thing and he ran all the way to the other end of it. And my dad said,
Oh boy.
"You better get down. Grams won't like that." And of course, Sergey got down because they love Grams. If that had been us,
Yeah, don't
my
ask.
dad would have knocked us off that damn couch. What are you thinking?
That's how I am with the grandbabies. They can eat whatever they want. You want cookies? Oh, baby, have you a cookie. I don't care. You don't want your chicken tenders? I'll make you something else. I'm like, damn, what the hell's wrong with me? They don't stay with me, so I don't care if they go home to their mom and daddy.
I still
Did you
do
talk about the airplane?
a long time. I had a godson.
Oh.
When he was about 7. His dad was my friend. His mother was a bitch. She didn't like me. I didn't
boy.
like her. And we both knew we didn't like each other. But anyway, I was Brendan's godfather. And so every once in a while they'd want to do something for the weekend. So he'd come over and stay with me. And she was one of these things that, we only eat natural foods. And he goes to bed at 8:00. At my house, it's like, bring the fucking pizza on.
Yeah.
And we went to bed about 1:00 in the morning. The deal was on Sunday mornings, he had to stay in bed and, nap. Or, I needed him to be rested up time he went home. But we broke all the rules.
Sometimes you got-
And his dad, he would tell his dad, he'd say, Tom got me chocolate cake. And he's like, oh my God, don't tell your mother. But we did not like, we had a perfect understanding. I didn't like her and she didn't like me. And we got along just fine with that understanding. So anyhow, I know Tara, she's such a sweet-natured thing. She never has that problem.
I am totally sweet natured.
Yeah,
You got me. That is a total description of me, sweet natured. Oh my God, I just was looking at Facebook Marketplace and somebody's giving away a concrete lion.
What?
A concrete lion.
Yeah, for free. Yeah, and it's like at least 3 foot tall.
Dang, y'all going to take the flatbed and go get it?
Is it free if you can pick it up?
I don't know. I'm looking how far it is, and it's probably pretty heavy.
Yeah.
Oh man. So you need that in
You'll
your
figure it out. She needs it for the collection.
Well, it's my 401k. How did you save money? I invest in concrete statues.
I'm telling you, once it gets settled,
That's what I'm saying.
Brandon's going to be running tour through the animal collection. He needs to tell them not to blink. Don't close their eyes.
Yeah,
and
really.
don't move.
Yeah,
If
but you
y'all
know
ever
these
want
people
to
don't
see
have a
the
way to
Dr. Who
load it. I
episode,
mean,
there's an episode of Doctor Who. and
that's
it's
why they're
called
giving it away for free.
Blink.
They don't want to load it
Yeah.
up.
Oh, yeah. That's not heavy.
That's good. Free. You gotta go get it.
Yeah, you go get it.
Yeah, and I don't have a flatbed trailer down here right now.
Oh.
We'll drag it up in the back of the horse trailer. Find a way, Tara.
Yeah,
You
it's
know
a
you
20
want
something
that
trailer that I gotta drag around. I don't know if I want it that much. It's not a real attractive lion. It's just like an okay one.
What is it? What is an
It's
attractive
painted
lion?
like natural colors and stuff.
The one that don't eat you? Is that?
I think Jim would kick my ass.
The concrete one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a lion with a big mane on it and stuff. No, I like him to look. I don't know. He looks okay, but I
Anthony
don't know.
says
Do
to
I?
get it.
Is this? I'm trying. The older I get, I'm trying to be a little bit more of a minimalist. Or I'm like, is this something I absolutely really need?
Yeah.
Yeah, 5 years ago, I'd be like, oh yeah, I gotta go get that. No matter what, it's for free. I need it.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to be more.
You're an
all over it.
Those two things do not go together. You are an eBay reseller and a minimalist. No, those things don't.
No, I didn't say I'm a minimalist. I said I'm trying to be more of a minimalist. There's a difference.
Same thing. It's not going to
Is
happen.
what I said.
It's not going to happen.
No, I'm not a minimalist. I'm just trying to be more fussy and be more like a minimalist than what I am right now.
Everybody's gonna have goals in life, Tom.
And this is not something I'm going to sell. It's something I'm going to keep. Is this something I really need?
Yeah. Do I really need it in my life?
I'm telling you,
Here's some $30 ones.
Brandon's going to
Yeah.
have be running tours out of there of the animal menagerie collection.
Well, he can do that after I'm dead.
Yeah.
Hey, Jim.
Oh gosh, you brought Jim in.
He can't hear me because he's sitting over in the living room and I'm in the kitchen.
Oh goodness. Yeah, Tara want versus need.
Ever since Tara started talking about her concrete collection of animals, there is a Doctor Who episode called Blink, and it's about these angels. They're statues, and when you blink, they move. And if they touch you, they zap your
Kill you?
life out of you and send you to
Oh, boy.
another era. Anyway, ever since she started talking about that, her concrete animals, all I can think is now is when they're not watching them, because in the TV show, if you're not watching these angels, they move on their own. So now
Oh boy.
So now she's puts all these concrete animals out in the yard and they're just wandering around until somebody looks out the window.
That is some freak.
Yeah, that'd be a little spooky. That'd be like The Shining with the topiary animals, remember?
Yeah.
You're gonna have a concrete petting zoo.
No.
Yeah, if I start seeing like a concrete lawn jockey chasing me around, I'm definitely gonna shoot him.
You won't see him chasing you around. They only move when you're
Yeah.
not looking at them.
But you don't have no gnomes,
Oh, okay.
do you?
Do what?
No gnomes.
I have like Jim had one, and I do have one that has an axe on his shoulder.
Oh yeah, no.
because he was just weird.
I'm good. I don't do the gnome.
I'm not really into gnomes. It isn't like I'd be seeking them out, but I did end up with a couple. I have mostly animals. I have
Yeah.
a lot of horses, geese because I like geese, ducks. There's like some frogs and turtles and bird baths. I got a deer family that's still up in Wisconsin.
You get the deer family? You need the deer family. Oh my god.
I have the deer family, mom and dad and baby, but I don't have them down here yet.
She said yet.
Yeah, that's coming. I'm gonna keep it.
Yeah, I bet.
I just
so.
haven't gotten it down.
Yeah, put the line in the position to deer. That's good, Mike.
I got that. We went to Florida. I bought like the big horse, some other stuff. I got like the concrete alligator that lays in the yard. That's three pieces.
yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Those are cool.
I got a raccoon.
Okay.
About 10
Yeah.
years ago, a friend of mine.
There is. If you ever,
Go
I'm
ahead,
just gonna
John.
say, if you ever go to Florida, down by Orlando, by Kissimmee, there's these guys that do concrete there, and they do they have a really good selection, and if you buy multiple pieces, they'll give you a pretty good deal on other smaller pieces and stuff.
Oh,
Anyway,
wow.
it's like on Ham Brown Road or something like that. It's over there by Kissimmee. It's close to where Jim's parents live. So we usually go stop there, and then I go and buy concrete stuff there while I'm there. I want to, they got like the big 3-tier fountains. Like they have when you go to Florida in front of subdivisions, those like 3-tier fountains.
Our
Right.
neighbor
They got like stuff.
Our
That's what I
neighbor
really want.
has the street.
Oh, we
I
got
have
one in our foyer.
Show you.
A 3-tier fountain? Oh, we got one in our foyer.
Yeah, no, these are too big for the foyer. These are the ones like that are in front of subdivisions where the first pool is like, I don't know, 6 foot across or whatever.
Yeah.
They're the real
Yeah,
big
they're
ones.
big.
You need like a machine to set them up.
Yeah, theirs is like a little small, like a little bird bath, and she has something else, and like there's doves on top of it. It's like, okay, yeah, nope.
Yeah, I have a fountain that I don't have all of it here yet. It's like a Deer on Cliffs fountain, and it's like 3 pieces, and probably sits about like 4 foot, 5 foot tall or whatever.
Oh wow.
10 years ago, my best friend and I, we bought a 5-foot steel rooster at a yard sale.
Oh,
I love those. Those are cool.
what
We
do you do
took
with
it-
it?
We started a little trend. We made up a little card that says, if you do not like the rooster, please take it to someone else's yard. Leave message attached. So we took it to a friend of ours that lives in a very, very ritzy neighborhood. And stuck it out in his front yard. And they came home from church and found it out there. He already had 3 messages from the homeowners association.
Oh my god.
So
You-
and Chris created an email address. So when you move it, you're supposed to send an email saying where it's at. So he immediately loaded it in the back of his Range Rover and he took it to somebody else's house. Well, I asked Chris probably about a week ago, I said, whatever happened to the rooster? He said, well, the last time I heard, he was like in Dusty Bowl, Idaho or someplace like that.
Wow.
But he has gone, he has been down through Arizona, through California.
Around the country, huh?
Oh my God.
And you know what? I thought to myself, too bad this was not this, we did not
here,
start
I'll show
that
you this.
now. Because now we could say, please send us a video.
Oh my
of you standing up.
Oh my
in the
God! If you
backyard. And we could have constantly had, kept track of this damn rooster. But
Remember they had that the dollar bill, the George, and you
Yeah.
had to
We-
go in there.
well,
that-
we were
that was
living
like
on
really
our
cool. Like
Montana
two-
scale.
2 months ago, I had found one.
Oh, did you?
now the concrete line is pending. I just showed Jim this ad for this concrete lion. It was pending before, and now it's pending. So somebody watching this show has probably keyed up to this concrete lion.
We've been
Liz,
trying
you trying to get the line?
Just let Tara have it.
they're just
Jim was well on board. Jim was like, "Okay, are we gonna go get it?"
damn Jim.
No, you'll
This says nope.
have to have a pair.
Yeah, you need two, one to go on each side of your driveway.
Yeah, you always need 2 lions.
Yeah.
Well, like Mike said, you can always put the line in position to stop the deer. So
Yeah.
Yeah, true that. I brought some small.
Your camera.
I don't know.
Man, it
My
looks like a
internet-
Penthouse magazine picture.
My internet is kind of sketchy.
listen, she got some free crap for you too.
I brought some small concrete animals down here with me. So, and they're ones like Mabel hasn't seen. So I have this little pig. It's about like this big. It's a black and white pig. She runs outside and she looks at it and she jumps and she starts like trying to attack it. She's barking at it and stuff. She figured out it was concrete. It's kind of funny.
Jake did our bulldog.
Are your concrete menagerie, are they painted? Or are they just natural concrete?
What'd you say?
Is your menagerie
concrete?
painted or is it natural concrete?
Some of it's painted and some I have assorted. Some are painted, some are natural. I mean, I got a lot, hey.
Yeah. I'm gonna paint mermaid, but I haven't decided what color scheme I'm gonna use yet.
Oh, good grief.
You gonna paint who?
Oh, yeah, I forgot
The
about that.
mermaid.
He's got that mermaid fountain. She's a topless mermaid with that. She bought it in Florida, and she holds a shell, and then the water comes out and spills over the shell.
Tara, that's the only concrete statue I have right there.
Aww.
He's gone with me through divorce. That's the only thing I ever took.
Oh, that's good.
Cute.
I'd have taken it too. I'd be like, you're getting my concrete dog.
No, he went. That was my divorce. That's the only thing I wanted out of that divorce. And he's gone through what 5 or 6 moves. He's heavy.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say
Yeah.
5 or 6 divorces.
No.
I did too.
Yeah, really. That's what I thought. I was like, what? Now more
If you're on divorce number
sounds
6,
like,
it's you, not them.
more sounds like what?
Figured out after 3.
A buddy of mine that lives out on the lake, he's got like 4 of those little boy statues peeing.
Oh.
They sit on his retaining wall and pee over the side of the retaining wall down into the lake. But it's pumped, it's pumping water out of the lake. And so sometimes the water will be, clear. Sometimes it'll be brown. If we have a lot of boys need to be checked.
This guy doesn't live on that orgy. This guy doesn't live on that orgy island, does he?
His wife does not. His wife does not approve. But, the guys just think it's funny as hell.
I got this creepy little naked girl that's riding on a fish, and then the fish would shoot water out of its mouth. And we have that stream in front of our house. I want to have Jim hook it up so it's like pumping water into the stream. Anyway. And it's like one of those, like, you know, like those kid statues that are concrete where they make their face look like really creepy.
Yeah.
That's how this statue is. I mean, it's the creepiest looking little kid.
Well, I
Sitting
don't
on
really
this
think it's a
fish.
boy. I mean, it has like longer, but I mean, it could be a longer-haired boy too. I
Yeah.
mean, you can't tell. I would say it's a unisex child.
Yeah, it's a
Thank
child.
the Lord. You know, thank good God, because we don't really want to know how you would. We wouldn't want one that you could sex. Let's put it that way. Not like those concrete peeing boys.
Oh yeah, those ignore boys.
Yeah, well, he's holding his cocktail wiener.
Yeah, that's exactly what they do. They stand there, they just pee in it, and you will see people
Yeah.
pulling up to the shoreline and taking pictures. And down there. I tell him
He needs to get some of those.
place when he gets ready to sell it, because I said all you got to do is put in the ad is you know this place. It's where all the little boys are peeing off the retaining wall.
He needs to decorate with those. You know how people use those? Old toilets for planters, or like plant geraniums and old toilets.
Oh, God.
Yeah, you should have some of those lined up and have the little boys peeing into the toilets full of
Well,
geraniums.
His wife
That's
would
good.
twist her head off.
It's a good
Or
idea.
Or like where you
Yeah,
bury
that's all it is.
bathtubs halfway and then put the Virgin Mary in it. You make your own grotto
You
out
can't
of a
have it
bathtub.
That ain't great. That ain't great.
Okay, let's.
That's mixed up, Tara. I don't even know where you
I
come up
didn't
with something
say
like that.
pee. I'm just using like bathroom fixtures for lawn decoration.
Oh man.
Tom's like, let's not desecrate.
Let's not go there.
Oh, look, Tom's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Are you okay, Tom?
Yeah, I'm fine.
What's going on? You let me go off the rails.
Deb, I started watching a new series on Netflix, and I can't remember. It's
You
an
need-
Italian deal.
You can't freaking remember what show you're watching.
Oh,
I can't remember what it's called, but it's an Italian family or a Spanish family, and they're like he's the Pope, and he's married and got 3 kids, and
Oh boy.
Borgias. The
Oh,
Borgias.
yes, that's a good movie. That's a good series.
I'm gonna tell you what.
That's actually, I think that's real.
I don't know whether it is or not, but I'm gonna tell you what. They were some messed up people back in them days.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I saw that a while ago.
Look at this. Oh, I bet the mermaid. I bet she's beautiful. She's something. She's topless.
Oh man, she is. We had a neighbor come by and she saw the mermaid. He saw the
Jim's
mermaid.
like,
And he's just
oh,
standing
yeah.
there, like talking at it, going like, "Beautiful, just beautiful." Where would you find something like that? This mermaid's nipping to beat the band.
Yeah, I'll use it in
and
good
then,
taste. I'll just say gumdrops.
Yeah.
Anyway,
He used to put a bikini top on her because she's got these big nipples on her. Oh,
hey, it's hard.
The show's gone downhill since talking about produce. Downhill after that.
Watermelon have a toilet for a backyard.
You know what? Everybody that's been listening to this program is now on Google looking for concrete statuary.
Yeah.
gotta buy those in Orlando. That I'm telling you, that is where the mermaid came from. It came from what's that road called? Ham Brown? Is that on Ham
No,
Brown?
it wasn't on Ham Brown. It's on one of the. It's not on the OBT. It's the other. There's two main highways going.
I will vouch for Jim and Tara that they do have those in Orlando because I used to live in Orlando, and I think I know which one.
Yeah, it's not an Orange Blossom, but it's that other. There's two main drags.
Yeah,
There's
there's Orange Blossom Trail,
the OBT, and then there's the other main drag.
and there's is it Sand Lake Road? There's also
Hot flashes?
There's two highways run. OBT and this other highway run parallel, and they're two big main thoroughfares through there. Anyway, well, that's the other one. It's on that other one. We're on Ponciana Boulevard.
I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start buying me up some concrete statuary molds because apparently there's some money in it.
Only to me. I mean, I'm probably the only idiot who has that many concrete statues.
No, dear, they make you. There's a lot of.
There's a lot of idiots. out there.
Well, there's a lot of concrete statues.
Oh, I thought you were telling me there's a lot of idiots.
I like what True 72 said though. He wants to make a water bowl, or he or she. Oh, it's Liz. Wants to make a water bowl out of a toilet for my yard. My dog will it.
Oh Lord Jesus, help me!
You just got to
with y'all today.
You got to teach the dog how to flush it so they can refill their water dish by themselves. Because otherwise they're always drinking it dry.
Hey, Carol.
Hey, Carol, you better have a good grape on reality before you join this show, Carol.
Oh, trust me, this morning show was off the chain. Now you come into this one too. They're talking about toilet bowls and naked statues.
There's the link if anybody wants to come in. Carol, if you want to pop in. Oh, Lord.
Come out in me.
Colonel Jim and Miss Tara walking around their animal concrete menagerie. How y'all doing?
I don't even have them organized. They're just randomly placed around my house right now.
They're all around the house. They're in front of the garage. It's like gnomes and deer and
We don't have
squirrels.
that many, no.
The deer ain't even here. The
Yeah.
deer are still in
The ducks,
Wisconsin.
the geese, the jockeys, the horses, the raccoon.
Yeah, the raccoon. We have a whole family of concrete deer that are a whole herd that are still up in Wisconsin on
I have
pallets.
some
gotta
of the
bring those
deer
down.
here. There's all the smaller deer here.
Oh, great.
You sit there at the baby.
Yeah, the big
What's
deer
wrong with you?
on a dolly going up that ramp. You pull a cement deer up a ramp up a U-Haul ramp on a dolly.
Hey, I loaded those before I met you.
Say your prayers.
Yeah.
I did that before I met you.
You know, what
Oh,
you
that
need
concrete
to do is
lion.
start scattering them around the farm.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping when I go back up there, someone will have stolen them.
Shut up.
You had to buy her new ones.
Barry, nobody's stealing them.
She'll get her shotgun and go kill them.
Yeah.
Well, if I gotta buy new ones, we'll pay the people to deliver them.
Yeah.
No,
He'll be going back to Orlando.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I told him, well, he wants to go visit his parents here. We got to go down there eventually when stuff settles down. I'm like, we should take the truck with so we can go to the concrete place and, shop for concrete.
Yeah.
Yeah, now I want to get one of those Italian ladies.
the one where her bosoms are showing, but everything else covered by a piece of fabric.
Yeah, I want to just hold a vase and a smile.
We have one of those.
She's got a top.
Well, it's half off. She's got a dress.
Oh, yeah,
Only
that's
one
right.
of the straps is on. She's that Greek lady with a water vessel.
You would think Jim and Tara moved from Georgia to Kentucky.
Why? They have a lot of concrete.
From Kentucky.
Because of all the concrete animals, but they're from Wisconsin.
I'm gonna have to find.
You mean? Are you telling me that people in Georgia have a lot of concrete? Then I'm definitely should have probably headed there.
Mississippi?
Do you guys here? This may like show people's age, but do you remember in the late 1970s in an Illinois suburb, a sheik from like Saudi Arabia bought a mansion in the Chicago area, and I mean it was national news. There was all these marble statues are out in front, and he went and painted them like anatomically correct artwork on the marble statues. Do you remember that?
I remember that. And that's because
it was in the late 70s.
Because he had
It was around the same time that John Wayne Gacy thing was going on.
he had another one out in LA that he did the same thing to.
Oh boy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he had one out in LA that he did the same thing to. Yeah.
They got it on the news, like on the Channel 9 on WGN News or whatever, but they'd have to like pixelate, the naughty bits.
Oh, right.
And I'm I'm like 11, 12 years old. Well, whatever. I'd be like 12, 13 years old, and I'm just laughing. I'm watching the news. I think it's hilarious. I remember we're both laughing.
I never heard of that.
Yeah, and they couldn't. Well, they couldn't really do anything about it because it was statues and art, technically, you know. So, but everybody wanted to see. It was around the same time like the Nazis were marching in Skokie. There was that kind of like the Chicago suburbs had had enough. They're like, "Quit up with this crap."
Just whipping in the wind. Woohoo!
Jim needs a YouTube channel where he does a week in review of what's going on in the news, because he could be so creative about all of this marching and stuff like that.
Lord help.
We can do a week of review in our own life for crazy stuff that happens to us in a 7-day period.
It's, you know, you got to keep life exciting,
Exactly.
Yeah.
because if you don't, you just
Our life is like we go outside and step on a rake every day. You walk outside the house, there's a rake laying there in the grass. We step on the prongs, and it comes up and hits us in the face every morning.
now. How many more loads of stuff do y'all have up in Wisconsin?
I don't know.
God only knows.
Well, not that bad, but it's like there's big stuff. There's the Ford tractor, the Crete. There's Jim's 1947 Frazier. There's the CJ Jeep. There's the Jeep Cherokee. There's
two CJs
and the
CJ frame.
the Mustang Project, the hay elevator.
We sold the 66 Tornado, so we don't have to haul that. And we got two semi-trailers.
I had to Google the 1947 Frazier to see what you were talking about.
It's real beauty. It's like a bathtub on wheels.
Yeah.
They're huge.
The trunk on that car, you could fit a Volkswagen Beetle in, I swear.
See, that's a trunk.
Oh,
Yeah, he's a Chicago boy. You can tell.
You
You gotta have a big trunk. Got fit enough body parts in there.
Yeah, there you go.
You could have a party in there. You could not only could you carry the bodies in the trunk, you could actually commit crime in the trunk. You could have the guy duct taped to a chair inside the trunk while you're sitting there talking to him before you whack him.
It's the whole thing. It don't matter. It's a big truck.
Yeah, it's an impossibly big trunk when you open it. I mean, the car looks big, but when you open up the trunk, it's like, how do they put a trunk this big inside an automobile? It's something.
That's what my kids.
Yeah, they build cars big. And when you sit in the back seat of it, you can almost, I mean, you put your arms all the way out and you're just barely touching the seat in front of you. I mean, there's that much space between the back of the front seat and the back seat. And when you're seated, it's crazy.
Oh, I'm going to tell you something that's up there, Tom. We must have about 100 outboard motors up there.
Oh crap!
Wow.
Yeah.
We're well over 100, bro.
All right, I'll just go with 100.
Facebook Marketplace?
You need to get them. You need to get them down there and get them taken apart.
Yeah.
Dang.
So we
You
got
need
all
to-
that there.
You need to get
The motorcycles. The motorcycles are still up. There's still motorcycles up there. There's a 4-wheeler up there. Yeah, there's still stuff there.
Yeah,
It'll take us. We'll be working on it till next summer.
Volkswagen's up there.
Oh yeah, the Bug is up there yet. Yeah.
the day that she puts a for sale sign on that property with all that crap that's still that stuff that's still up there on that land, it will
I
sell.
won't put a for sale sign on it till it's empty.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, it would sell the same day. Somebody would drive by and see it and say, "Hey, I want that."
Yeah.
And then they would have to start moving all that other stuff.
Yeah.
Ooh, Lord, it is a lot of stuff, ain't it? Ooh.
No, I will put it up for sale when that's empty. I'm not. It's like the semi trailers, they're there yet. I want to sell them up there. I'm not hauling them with me down here. But
Yeah.
we store stuff in them right now, so I'm using them like a container.
Well, actually, the box truck knocked down that one semi.
Yeah,
pretty good.
they're really in the semis. There isn't that much stuff in there.
Yeah, once I load up the box truck, it knocks down the. We took out probably like 20% of one of the semi trailers in one box
Yeah.
truck load. So That's only 5 loads per trailer.
And you still have Jim's
No,
hunting
because
vehicle up there.
they're not packed in that much. Yeah.
Jim's got an RV up there.
Hey,
doesn't he?
I'd get rid of. Yeah, we could sell that. That wouldn't bother me.
Well, we
could
live
sell,
in the RV though when we're there. I mean, when we sleep, we're sleeping in the RV. So
we could sell the Fraser. We could sell the Jeeps. I really am not in love with any of that.
My
Most of
Oldsmobile-
it.
my
Yeah,
Oldsmobile
that I
98.
definitely get rid of. I don't like that anyway.
my extra engine for the Oldsmobile.
Yeah, that could go.
Jim's back there going, my Fraser?
He's like, what?
Yeah, no, none of this is actually happening. What she's talking about.
Try to sell as much as you can while it's up there.
My
But
father-in-law has a 1965 Sport Fury, Plymouth Sport Fury.
Oh wow!
It's white. My dad had a black one. They're just alike, except the colors are different. And I was looking at that the last time we were up there. It needs to be restored. And that's something he was going to restore. And he just, you never get around to it.
yeah.
Probably will never be done because he's getting old. But anyway, I bet you I could lay across the back seat of that thing and not have to bend my knees at all. That thing is the widest damn vehicle I've ever seen in my life. And like I said, we had one. And, I just don't remember them being so big. I mean, you're a kid. I was a kid. I was like 11, 12 when we had it. So, everything's kind of big, but that's a big old vehicle. Like I said, I could probably lay down, and I'm 5'9.5". I probably could lay across the back seat of that thing and not have to bend my knees. That's a vehicle.
We had a lady. Packed us all in. We got done with a Cub Scout outing, and she had a 1965 Ford Galaxy. And she's like, "Okay, kids, get in the back seat." And there was like 8 of us. We all pile in the back seat of that thing, and there's room for plenty more kids. I mean, that thing, that Galaxy, I can tell you, also has a 1965 had a huge back seat. I mean, we're all over the place. It was like you were in the back of a station wagon.
But you know what? Those were
Hey, you
real
could have
vehicles.
that. It's almost 11.
You probably could take that.
After school.
You probably could take that same vehicle or my father-in-law's Plymouth and run into a brand, an F-350 or a 3500 Chevy or something like that, and just total the truck and probably bend a little bit
At
of the
least
trunk
we
in
didn't
front
say
of
an
that
F-150.
sucker.
Yeah.
At least we got time to quit talking about an F-150.
If you took one of those 65s and plowed it into a modern, into a 2000s vehicle, you'd crush it like a aluminum can.
Oh yeah.
My dad had a client that collected 1944 Cadillacs. And he would have them stripped down to the chassis and powder coated and brought back up. A lady pulled out, this would have been like 1995. A lady pulled out in front of him in a brand new Mercedes 600, their biggest one at the time, and totaled that Mercedes. And the front bumper on that Cadillac had those little rubber cone-looking things attached to them. It knocked one of those off on it. That's it. Totaled that Cadillac. Totaled that Mercedes.
Yeah, they didn't need airbags back then.
No, because
Much less seat belts.
My mom got hit by a grader when she was pregnant with my sister. A road grader was plowing the road, and he didn't see her, and he pulled out he T-boned her with a road grader. The tire hit the side of the car. Now it did dent the doors, but it was a 1970 Fleetwood, and it just pushed the car off to the side. But he thought whoever was in that car was dead as a doornail. It never even bent the frame rails. That Cadillac pretty much stopped that road grader.
Oh my God.
My mom got out. She's pregnant with my sister. The guy in the grader's like having a heart attack because he might killed somebody. But yeah, those old cars, they can really take a hit.
Yeah. They're nothing like
But the problem is also, though, when you bounce around inside of them, a lot of times you get killed.
Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah, they used to make They used to make real vehicles. Now they make disposable ones.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, it's like this boy down the street's got a Fiero. Do y'all remember those?
Oh yeah, that's what
Yeah.
Plastic
Yeah.
body. He thinks he's a cat
Yeah.
meow with that sucker.
I think they were trying to copy like the Fiat X19, which was another piece of junk.
Yes.
Yeah, a boy that was a good friend of mine in high school. He had a Triumph Spitfire, and it had a 2-cylinder diesel engine in it. His dad, his uncle, and his grandfather all got drunk one Saturday morning, and by Saturday night they had taken taken this diesel engine out of a tractor and put in it because the Triumph had a blown engine in it.
Oh crap.
They're all welders and machinists and stuff like that, so they made a conversion plate to connect the transmission to it and all this kind of stuff. You could hear him coming a mile away with that little diesel just rattling like hell. But that sucker would fly.
Oh man.
Yeah, I bet. Good Lord. We learned how to drive a stick in a Fiat when I was younger. We ran out of gas.
Some people don't even know how to drive a shift now.
That's about the size of a Fiat.
Yeah, I know, right? On a long car.
Now, your truck that you pull your horse trailer with, is it automatic?
Yeah. Yeah, it's automatic.
I
would have got a stick, but
They're hard to find.
yeah, for Dodge you can find sticks, but for Chevy and Ford they're pretty tough to find. They're mostly going with automatics now.
Yeah.
Because you pick up a few miles to the gallon with a stick. I would get it for the mileage.
Yeah.
Well, I was watching a show on watching the news, and they were looking at it was a Peterbilt and another one of the big trucks, and they were automatics.
Peterbilt.
You know, it used to be where they had like 10 forward and 3 reverses and all this kind of stuff. They're all automatic. I mean, these were automatics.
Yeah, Peterbilt and Kenworth.
When I was on the fire department, we went to all automatic.
Yeah.
That's I don't know. I like
I think
automatic.
I talked over, bro.
When I was a kid, I had a 73 Jeep CJ5 with a 3-speed in it. Drove the hell out of that thing.
I'm thinking a lot of people don't know how to. I think the kids don't know how to drive sticks no more. So that's why they're trying to go away from the sticks. Everybody's doing automatic so much because people they don't teach them how to drive it no more. So
That's the reason why my brother-in-law bought a Ford Focus for his daughter with a 5-speed in it, because she'd never be able to. Nobody would ever drive it except her, because nobody knows how to drive a shift.
it's kind of like the cursive writing. Nobody can read it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just laziness is all it is. I mean, because I think you would keep the kid more occupied driving a stick than you would than driving automatic. And I think that's what they need to kind of keep them. I think it'd keep them more busy.
First of all, if you go to South Meck High School and look at the student parking lot, it's full of Range Rovers, Mercedes, BMWs, Volvos, all these expensive automobiles. They need to go get these chaps a 1973 Super Beetle or some crap like that to drive.
Well, you heard about that kid that got a BMW for his birthday, and he drove right into the damn lake because he didn't want that. He wanted a Jaguar.
Oh, no.
He would have been walking with
Yeah.
a lamp.
Yeah, well, I guess his parents were like, well, I guess we should listen to him more. No, what the fuck are you talking about? That's just disgusting.
Yeah, they can't
Thanks,
talk
Summer.
if they have a stick.
Go down there and find him. Go find that young man a damn 1985 Ford Fairlane with the 200,000 miles on it.
Then
crank up
put that
window.
in there.
That thing would float.
I would slap the hell out of that kid because it's not what he wanted. Out, see you, bye.
I did put all my friends in there. I don't care.
No, I ain't about that. I don't think so.
Anyway.
My great niece and great nephew, Isabel's 7 and Colin is 4. They were at a friend's house. My niece was telling me about this. They were at a friend's house and they jumped in their pawpaw's truck, their friend's pawpaw's truck, and they said, "What are these?" And they were the cranks on the windows.
Oh, geez.
They had never seen these 4 kids had never seen cranks on a window before.
Oh, good Lord. Lord help them.
That used to see. Now,
Yeah,
that
honestly, you
used to
don't
be-
find too many cars that have crank windows.
You really don't.
I don't think so. I think it's just as expensive. I mean, it costs just as much to go ahead and put a motor in it and switch it as it is to do all the other work.
I think what the vans they have, like service vans, because I know when we worked with that fire company, you had to like literally roll down the windows, and they got new vans, and that I think like service vans or like fleet trucks, most of those will have them unless you order them like the other ones, because they don't want the people that are working to be comfortable. They want you to work with that shit.
Yeah, Jim's box truck has crank down windows.
Yeah. That's how our service vans were for our fire restoration company.
You'll be driving. When you're driving it though, you're like reaching, you're like pushing like on, and it's like, where is the armrest? Where is the buttons? You know, because you're looking for, and then finally it's like, oh yeah. Then you feel the crank. It's like, oh yeah, I forgot.
I know, right?
It's weird. It's like a rotary dial telephone. It's like when you look at it, it's like, what the hell? But they're good. I mean, like when you buy a used car, at least it's one less thing to break on it.
That's
You know?
true. You can worry about it going out on you.
Because you go too quick.
It pops off.
You know, talking to my kids about you know, back in the day we had a phone in the kitchen and it hung on the wall, you know, and you'd pick it up and had the little lever that you know it'd pop up and down. They would say, "Did you have to like click on it several times and say, Bernadette, get me 9563?" No.
Yeah, you
No, I
had to
did
crank
not.
it up.
Check over to the call later.
Crank on the side.
And that long
Long distance.
from room to room.
My,
That was our wire.
my mother, God bless her heart, she is really savvy with money. But she would always call on her cell phone, and I'm like, Mom, why do you always call on your cell phone when you're in the house? Well, I don't want to make long distance phone calls. And I'm like, Mom, nobody makes long distance phone calls now. She says, I get charged for long distance phone calls. Well, if I make it off the house line, I said, well, then you need to call Comporium and you need to tell them what kind of damn service do you have, because unless you call out of the dadgum continental United States, you don't get charged for long distance.
Yeah, you shouldn't be.
And so I talked.
No,
to
we just got our first
I talked to my
landline
cousin-
we've had
my
in years,
sister-in-law
and it's
about it.
not.
She's supposed to find out what the hell's going on. Because I make long distance phone calls all the time to all over the place, and you know we don't get charged long distance.
Mhm.
That's another thing they'll ever experience. These children is concerned about how long you talk on the telephone.
Yeah, with that long distance phone call.
Well, you know, my first cell phone was like $2.95 a minute or some shit like that. That's an exaggeration, but it was expensive.
I think mine was 15 cents a minute.
Yeah, I think
My first
that's really what it is, like 15, 20 cents a minute.
They
And,
have the beepers.
People would,
Always a kind of
Pager.
you know, people would freak out about staying on the daggum cell phone because their bill was going to run up.
Yeah,
Now these chaps stay on it all the time.
they never shut up. They need to get off there.
Well, that was like AOL. You know, that's the service we had. Literally had AOL until we went to broadband. You know, you got 25 hours a week. 25 hours a month, and then you had to pay so much of that hour after that.
God, AOLs whenever we first got together. Remember we had it in the trailer.
You've got mail.
It's like, oh my God, it's been that long. Jesus Christ.
See, and I liked it.
You like AOL?
I did
Oh my
like it. I
God.
like the interface. You know?
Yeah. Well.
Well, that was before. Listen, that was before. I was 40 years old when we got the internet. Okay.
He was watching when Sally met Harry, or Harry met
No,
Sally.
I'm picturing Tom riding on the back of a brontosaurus with a car bag using his AOL account.
Let me tell you what now.
He's got the external antenna, so you can get extra range.
You're like this.
You are harsh. But I'm proud of my AOL usage. And I still had my AOL account until they shut it all down about a year ago. I still have my AOL email address.
Oh man.
You still got your MySpace?
Yeah, he's
No,
got
I didn't do
MySpace too.
I didn't do any of that fancy stuff.
So how did they message you? How did they message you, Tom? They were shutting your account down. Did they send you a telegraph?
No, we read it on the God Almighty. We read it on the in the newspaper.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
Western Union. Tom Hugs, your AOL account is being shut down. Stop.
I miss Pony Express. Yeah, I really
Pony
do.
Express.
I miss having the Pony Express. The guy would put the envelopes out there in a bucket, and he'd ride by and grab them up as he rode by.
And Dennis Stanley he had an AOL bag phone.
No, I never had a bag phone, but I had one mounted in my car.
Oh, I went straight to the bag phone.
Did you?
Yeah, I didn't. Well, because when they had them in the car, I couldn't afford them yet, or I was too cheap.
And I wish they still had them that you could have in your car.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, that thing underneath the seat was like the size of a suitcase. They mounted this huge thing because another guy in real estate had it. I didn't, but he's showing me underneath the seat of his caddy. He's got this thing mounted. I'm driving a Crown Victoria, but I'm like, I'm not even sure I could fit that thing under the seat of my Crown Vic.
Yeah, but you had those intercoms that weren't they
We had we had car radios. We had Motorola cop radios,
Yeah.
but you get the private. We had the private frequency, and then the office paid for. You had to pay $15 a month because the office had to pay, for the tower fees or whatever. But then we had pagers on our hip, and they would page you, and then you'd call in on the Motorola radio and say, "What do you need?" But then once we got the bag phones, then we phased out the radios.
Pagers. Only drug dealers have pagers now.
Well, my dad had this system that he would page you with a 1, a 2, or a 3. 3 wasn't real important. 2 was fairly important, and 1 was you needed to call the office right away. Son of a bit, he paged me with a 1 every single time. Yeah, your mother wants me to get milk, but I don't have time. Can you stop and get you some milk? I'm like, Dad, I had to interrupt the showing to come talk on the radio to get back to you on this stupid page. I could choke him every single time he'd use a 1.
He does this Power Ranger thing.
Yeah.
Do you know you can still get pagers?
Yeah, we have some
Yeah, I think you still can.
Well, I'll tell you, Tom, in this house, my cell phone don't work. I got to go outside in the yard, and there's a special spot, and it's a local cell phone. But we're in a hollow here where nobody gets cell phone reception. That's why we got the landline. So we have phone at the house now.
He has
Climbing a tree.
Yeah, but
no, that's what he does.
Green Acres,
but the neighbors have it because they use that Bluegrass Cellular, which we should maybe look at them.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm too
'Cause
cheap. I can't
everybody-
afford Bluegrass. I looked at that. I can't afford
He has
it.
to put his cell phone in his right hand,
Yeah.
and then he jumps up on the back of the concrete rabbit with his right foot.
Yeah.
No, he's kind of.
We're gonna have to climb up a light
He's got this there's an oil spot out on our driveway, and he's like, if you stand on the oil spot and,
And face north.
face north by the neighbor's house, then you're going to get 2 bars.
Oh my god!
He did climb on top of the hill. Was it better if
If you get way up on it's 18 acres or whatever. If you go way up on the hill on the far south corner, you can up on this stump. You can get like 3 bars. But I mean, who the hell wants to walk? I mean, it's a 15-minute walk because I got to walk through the woods.
The bobcat or the lion might eat you first.
Yeah, exactly.
For God's sakes, y'all need to get some more cellular service. Yeah, Kathy, y'all need to get a new cellular service.
Go to Verizon.
Well, I got those track phones, and they're just so cheap. I can't resist.
There's a billboard for Bluegrass Cellular. You can get your second phone for $1.
Yeah, but did you see their rates?
No.
Yeah, go look at the rates.
Isn't the rates like $1 a month?
Yeah.
Oh my God, Mike!
No, it's not $1 a month.
Somewhere.
It's for back to school. It's like get your kids a cell phone for $1 a month.
Here's your first free sample. It's like your first free heroin sample.
Just stand on the spot out there and face north.
Yeah.
Like I can't call nobody.
I don't even have a phone right now because I still have my Wisconsin cell phone.
Well, you have
which
the
don't
house
work here.
phone.
Well, yeah,
No.
but it doesn't like do stuff. It doesn't text or that. I don't always like to talk to people.
Now we know why you're not on the chat during the daytime.
Yeah, because I'd have to go stand outside on the oil spot.
No, your phone will chat because it's got data.
To you, it's like the G spot.
You know, if it wasn't for the fact that I'm having to pick up my cell phone because Deb and Kathy and Bridget are yakking all day long on that damn thing, and it sits over there going ping, 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 ping. I would these days I would never pick mine up.
Well,
I
actually,
just don't like talking on the telephone.
I wasn't there.
Tara doesn't check it, but actually she is getting all those chat notifications because they go through the data, which her phone is hooked up because we have internet in the house and Wi-Fi. So her phone's on Wi-Fi, even though her cell phone itself doesn't work. The data works because it's streaming data. So yes, it's getting, because while I'm in the living room like doing something, I can hear it perpetually. Bling, bling.
I'm not gonna carry around a cell phone that can't make calls on, but I get data through.
Yeah.
Well, you might can do
So one
voice.
second you're not texting, the next second you're not calling. So
Well,
what are you
texting's
doing?
different. It doesn't get texting.
No, it doesn't. You're right, but it does get messaging.
I don't know who. I never
I
talk to
think-
my children on the phone. I text them, and they might or they might not read it.
Oh, me in 2 days.
It's like I call them on their cell phone. They might pick up. They might not.
Yeah. Well, I don't like it when people call me and then they say, because I have friends that'll call me and they'll be like, "So what are you doing?" And then it's like, ugh, we got to go through this. I mean, if you have something to do, it'll be fine. But if it's gonna be like that, well, what are you doing right now?
I get that. How are you doing? I'm busy. That's how I'm doing.
Here's the line. Here's the line.
Your Facebook post, they call you right away. Look, I just posted on your comment. Doesn't mean that you can call me and talk for 5 hours. I got shit.
Exactly.
I hate that. I'm like, quit calling me.
I used to make my friends so mad because they'd call up and talk, and I, you know, it'd get to the point where I'd be like, "Is there anything else I can help you with?" And they knew that I was ready to get off the phone, and you could tell a whole change in their attitudes, like, "You asshole," you know.
I go into oh really, oh really. Okay, yeah, so I gotta go now or whatever. I wrap it up, and then when you get me to the point where I say I gotta go, I say goodbye, clunk. That's it.
Yeah, except I know that she does this, so when I call her and it's something pretty flippin' important, and she starts with the I'm like, hey, wait a minute. Hey, you better be listening to this. You better be writing this stuff down. Because I don't like to call people on the phone. When I call you, it's important. I don't call nobody.
I don't do the
You do it. You've done it.
I'm too nice. I sit there and I'll just listen to you rambling on.
I just go in this monotone. Oh, all right. All right.
When my mom calls, sometimes I leave the room. I just set down the phone and go,
Oh,
And she's still talking when I come back. She has no idea.
Now she does if she ever catches the show.
I might not know about this.
Here's I'm saying I'm like going, really? Oh wow, really? Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, you know I ain't
Too
listening
much
to it.
emphasis.
I really do. I'm like, wow, awesome. Well, I gotta make sure they feel special. Leave me alone.
My dad's mother would call and talk to him and tell him something and then hang up because she was done. She would say,
Sounds like my kind of lady.
she would come up and she would say,
Messengers, they're okay. They know.
stuff like, I talked to Junior today. He's going to give me a price on doing the screen porch on the front of the house. Click. That was it.
Yeah, that's all you got to convey. She got the message out.
Then he would get pissed off and he'd have to color back and say, okay, did you tell him that, how he wanted supports, in the screening and stuff like that? No, he never had a chance to ask her that. She would just hang up. I talked to Junior about the screen porch and click. That's all the information she had, and that's all she needed to tell.
Oh, me and my mom have a great understanding. It's 10-minute conversation. You get to the point, okay, you alive, I'm alive, we're good, bye, see you, love you, bye. It's click.
If you want to talk and we live close enough, let's meet for coffee somewhere or, an ice cream or something. Sit face to face and talk.
Yeah.
Tom just wants to go out for ice cream.
Tom just wants to eat ice cream.
Yeah, for the dull parts of the conversation, you can eat
I
ice
could
cream.
just put ice cream in my
That's right.
mouth.
I mean,
I don't care about talking to you. Fuck that.
I used to work with this woman. She's telling me about her parents were farmers, and her dad, they'd get company, and they'd come over, and her dad liked to get up early. So they get these people would come over and visit and then start getting a little bit late for him, like 7 o'clock or whatever. And he'd just stand up and he'd look at him and he'd say, well, I can see you're tired. So I'm going to let you all go home now. Goodbye. And he starts walking to the door and he opens up the door for him to leave. And they just get up and walk out of the house.
That's the best way to do it, too.
I thought that was a good way to do it.
I mean, you kind of expect it out of certain people, because of he's a farmer and whatnot. But I used to make a friend of mine so mad every time I say, is there anything else I can do for you? She'd say, I hate you. Then why
Have
did
you received 5-star service today?
Please leave a review.
Yeah, leave a review and you'll be eligible for a $200 Amazon gift certificate.
It's a 1-minute survey. It won't last. It's just one question.
When I pick up Roberta at work, I drive up into the area where I'm supposed to pick her up at. And when she starts walking up towards the car, I hop out and run around to the passenger side, and I open up the front door and the back door, go over and get her laptop case and her wallet, her purse and her lunchbox, and sit in the back door or back seat and shut the door, and she'll say, I'm still not leaving you 5 stars. Bitch, I am not your Lyft driver. You know what I mean?
You might get 1 or 2, depends on the mood I'm in.
That's right. She's stingy on those stars. And Sasha, he always wants to sit in the back seat. He wants to sit in the back seat on the passenger side. And I keep telling him, I am not your Uber driver. Unless you're going to start leaving me a good tip.
So if you pick him up, it's just you and him in the car. He rides in the back.
Yes.
And then you
Well, it's like driving with Daisy or something.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
Yeah, Tom, do you have to get permission to make water?
What was that actor's name about that?
Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, are you like Morgan Freeman?
I'm a grown man, Miss Daisy, and I gotta make water. I'm getting on this automobile.
no, I don't do that. I stop when I want to.
That's good.
That's a great movie.
Yeah, I love that part with Morgan Freeman when she's telling him, "No, you don't have to stop. No, Miss Daisy, I'm a grown man."
Just make water right there. Who cares?
You know, that's a great movie. It
I'm taking my blanket tomorrow to the chiropractor and I do therapy because I need the rest.
you got to go with the flow.
Yeah.
If you don't,
Like, boy, get your butt up here. I ain't moving until you do. Grab him out by his ear.
Tom, aren't you supposed to be on your way up to Nashville?
no, I'm not going to go.
Oh.
Oh, all right, then we're not going.
Yeah.
Well, that says that we're not going.
No, I
either.
did those 2 storage units today, and one of them I didn't even know I'd won.
Oh, yeah.
Surprise.
Did you get anything good?
Yeah, I think so. I probably got. Okay, I spent a total of $30 on 2 units.
Oh, nice.
So I got
Nice.
about. I think altogether I have about, including the change that I got out of these things, because I got like $9 out of one of them. I probably got $400 worth of stuff out of them.
Oh, there you go.
So yeah, I like treasure hunting. I am not like Kathy and Marcel, where they go out and spend the big bucks for these things.
Shoot.
Spend big bucks and get $20 back. Yeah, I'm glad you're not.
How much do we pay for the stripper unit?
I don't know, like $35.
Yeah, we bought a unit that belonged to an exotic dancer for like $30, and I got at least that in bikini tops for my mermaid because she had all these string bikini tops. One of them is pot leaves for my mermaid. So sometimes you just get lucky. Oh my gosh! And change, and needle, and burnt up tinfoil. We got all sorts of shit.
But you got to change, right?
We got a lot of pocket change. She must have had 100 cigarette lighters in there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and motel room keys.
Yeah.
She had all sorts of fun stuff. Pictures of herself and others.
Oh, lots of naked pictures, which I wanted to put in a lot and put on eBay, and I just never did get around to it.
Oh my God!
That
Yeah,
would
you
be
could.
good.
Oh my God, they're real classy. They're like strippers topless sitting on top of dead deer and stuff during deer hunting season, you know? And it's like snow on the ground. They have no shirts on. You know it's cold out with like one of those orange like Elmer Fudd hunting hats on, you know, with the flaps to cover your ears. No shirt, sitting on top of a dead deer holding its horns up.
Somebody.
Anyway.
Oh my gosh. Well, while I'm in there, I find this. I sold an RCA camera, a big one, like the TV station would use.
Right.
I got pretty good. I sold that for good money. But then I find these VHS tapes that say home movies or whatever. I'm like, oh boy, this ought to be something. Oh my gosh, I felt so bad. I'm watching it. It plays like this real sappy piano music in the background. It's her as a little girl. It's literally like the 8mm movies converted to video, and it's her playing, you know, with her family and her dad's bouncing on her knee and stuff.
Oh,
Holy crap, because I thought, oh boy, this is going to be the super.
Not what you expected.
Yeah, not what I expected.
You know, and that's
Anyway, but
that's the worst thing about buying storage units, when you run across stuff like that and photographs.
and I have no way to contact the person to get
Yeah.
it back to them or whatever. It's like, well,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
Like the guy today, I said, you know, I saw some look like documents in this unit. Do you want them? No. I don't have any place
Yeah.
to keep them.
yeah.
Throw them in
Yeah.
the trash.
Well, you can sell U.S. Bonds or whatever, U.S. Savings bonds,
Yeah, they're nowhere near worth their face value because you can't cash them in.
but you can sell them.
I sold some on eBay. When I lived in Eagle River, this girl, there was about $500 worth of savings bonds, and I felt bad because the mother lost the storage unit. So I sold them on eBay. And I don't know why somebody buy them, because when they're not in your name, they're impossible to cash them in.
Right.
But they bought them for like, let's say $40 or something. But every day when I take my kid to school, because the pictures are in the unit too, I'd walk by her. It was her savings bonds I sold, which I kind of felt bad. But
Well, we didn't know her
we didn't
time.
at that
yeah.
time. We didn't know.
We
her.
didn't know. So we didn't find out later till we saw her face. It's like, oh crap, that's that girl. That's that girl from the storage unit.
Oops.
I just
Speaking of
root for-
savings bonds, I got a phone call last Thursday from my ex-wife.
And how'd your wife feel about this?
Wait a minute.
Hang on.
Her parents had passed away, and they were selling their house, and they were going through their mother's stuff, and they found a savings bond that somebody
Oh, not
had
good.
given us when we got married for a wedding present.
Oh,
Oh,
It was for $50, and it's made out to Tom Hucks and Jane Hucks.
So she
I don't know
needs you to
anything about
sign it?
savings bonds. How do you cash in a savings bond? Do you take them to a bank or what?
yeah.
yeah,
you
you have to
take it to
both.
the
Sign,
bank
you'd have to both sign it.
And you have to
Yeah.
both sign it.
You both have to be there. They have to look at the value on it.
And she went back to her maiden name.
Well, she should still have your divorce papers.
Yeah, the divorce decree.
Mhm.
Yeah,
As long as she has some paperwork showing that she had that last name,
right.
she could still be able, but you're gonna have to be there with her because they won't legally let her
Right,
cash it. And if they do, they'll be in trouble.
right.
Hey Tom, and make sure she gives you something for the effort, right? $50 is
You
50
already got
bucks.
money out of
At least it's $25.
it.
Would it not be worth more than $50 after?
Well, yes, if it's that. Well,
If
no,
it's mature.
I don't know what year did you get married?
1978.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. That's around the time. Well, that would be around the cutoff because they changed them. The E bonds used to generate interest forever, but then they changed it to where they had a limit. So that may be one of those unlimited bonds that keep. It's not a lot of interest, but they do perpetually gain interest. So you'd have to Google it. What year they stopped? They quit making the forever.
Right.
I think they're E
Yeah.
bonds.
Yeah, I would at least look it up.
Unless I'm mixing that up with Disney World, the e-ticket ride.
I don't know. We had Norbert had a bunch of those.
Perpetual
Yeah.
interest, yeah.
There was a guy here in Charlotte. I was at the auction, a storage locker auction. It was live, and he found a lockbox, and he busted it open, and it had bearer bonds in it, like $8,000 worth of bearer bonds.
Nice.
Yeah, but he can't cash them in.
No, they're bearer.
Bearer
No,
bonds.
Oh,
it's
bearer
cash,
bonds.
yeah, it's
Oh,
just like
yeah,
cash.
yeah.
Whoever has it in their hand is who owns it.
Yeah,
Wow.
because that's what they used to do. That I was watching a documentary, and people used to give after income tax and inheritance tax came into play, people would go out and buy these bearer bonds, and then just give them to their children, or when they died, their children knew that they were to split them, and then they would just take them and cash them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I would look into that if I was you, for sure.
I meant to talk to my banker about it today, and I didn't. Because she
It's
said,
just
"Well, I'll
a
mail it to
picture of
you." She said, "I'll mail it to you," and I'm like, "Hey, I don't want you to know where I live."
Tell
Now,
them
mind you,
the
we
picture of it.
we were real young, we were real stupid. Well, she was anyway. We got a divorce and we just moved on. I'd see her parents out and we would stand there and talk and chit chat and whatnot. If I saw her someplace, we would stand and chit chat because it was really no hard, really hard feelings. It was about, except she left me for another woman, but that's, I can move.
Well, you were young.
With that.
You were young and she was stupid. So.
Yeah. So, I don't have any, I'm not like some people we know that their wife just took them through the damn cleaner, or their husband just took them through the cleaner.
Well, I knew my first wife was crazy because anybody would leave somebody like me has got to be nuts.
Marcel's first two wives were crazy too, so
Excuse me?
Jim's only had one ex-wife.
You see Marcel's first two wives.
Yeah,
Yeah.
his first two wives were crazy, or ex-wives were crazy. Then he ended up with me, the best thing ever.
Now I'm not leaving.
There you go.
Sometimes you have to. What is the
I'm
saying? You have to. Sometimes you have to go through something or other to get to the good stuff. I
He
forgot
had
what
to
it
go
is.
through too.
Yeah, I don't know all about that part.
He just
Y'all are sad.
anytime
I'm just not
soon.
leaving.
Hey, Craig.
I don't have anything else to lose.
I got it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Once you split your stuff in half enough times, yeah, there ain't nothing left to split up anymore.
I ain't got shit, so I gotta keep what I got.
You ain't got much, so.
Well, back, I think it was Eddie Murphy's first video. I mean, his first live or video recorded concert. He was talking about getting divorced, people getting divorced, and he says the judge will say, or the attorney will say, "Does he have dreams? We're gonna get them too."
Dreams.
I didn't start dreaming it. I didn't start remembering my dreams until recently. So I think I did lose those somewhere along the way.
They're part of the storage unit.
You know, if for some reason Roberta was not my wife anymore, whether she passed away or we got a divorce or something like that, there would be no more. There would not be another Mrs. Tom Hunt. I'm just too old to try to train another one.
Amen.
I say the same thing.
That's what I tell
If Jim died, I'm not gonna go find another one.
No,
I just don't have the energy.
No.
I don't either. It's like don't even take the boots off, and don't bring a toothbrush because you ain't staying that long, baby. Get out. You gotta do what you gotta do. Get out.
Well, and sometimes like you get up in our age bracket, and they're like looking for somebody to kind of half-ass take care of them. You know, like make them supper and like wash their clothes and stuff. And I don't ever really want to do that.
I can take care of it. I'm grown.
Yeah, I know. Right?
I'm just
Young laundry.
I would be looking for some arm candy, and that's about it. You know,
Oh boy.
Yeah, Big Daddy over
Yeah,
Big Daddy here.
Bob with his fedora hat and Barbie on his elbow.
there.
Hey, let me tell you what. I saw a few of those on the cruise ship. These old guys that's got one foot in the grave, they look at like it anyway. And got
Jim saw one of those in Florida.
these young chicks. Mm-mm.
Jim saw one of those in Florida with his other two kids when they were young, and the kids were like, "What are those people doing there?" And Jim's like, "Okay, let's go away now." Some real old guy with
This
a
guy,
young girl.
he looked like Ron Jeremy, you know, with the really hairy upper torso. He's wearing his big gold chain. I'm sure it was real gold. We're on by St. Petersburg where they got this $5 parking fee. You can go on the public beach, but it's surrounded by these, you know, multi-million, maybe billion-dollar motels. You know, there's all these towering, fancy hotels are on the beach, and you got this little swath, you know, of the beach where it's public. Well, so you're seeing all these rich people on the beach, and this old guy has got this woman. I call her woman loosely. I mean, maybe 18 to 20 years old, Barbie doll. And she's wearing a string bikini, and they're kind of messing around in the surf or whatever. Well, they get a little deeper where they're like chest deep or whatever, and they're doing something. They got something going on here in the surf or whatever. And she's with this guy with his hairy back and his bald head. He looks like Ron Jeremy does like right now. The
I didn't know he had a name.
hedgehog.
Oh.
Yeah, he's got nicknamed the Hedgehog or whatever. Yeah, but I mean, he's got a skullet, and he's just rocking this girl. And she's like, you know, 18 to 20 years old. I mean, you know, she's doing it for money.
Oh,
I mean, if she's not a pro, she's hoping that she's a gold digger. Anyway, so my kids are like, "What are those two doing?" I'm like, "Nothing, kids. Let's move over to this other part of the beach."
No, when you say Ron Jeremy, you're talking about the adult short film actor.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
or the adult long film.
Is your daughter named Belle?
If you look at it, whatever angle does
No, that's Jim's niece.
Okay, because it keeps throwing it up that you might know Belle Carey.
No, that one's not Jim's. That's his brother's daughter.
Yeah, it's my brother's daughter.
Okay.
She's
But-
nice. She's big into volleyball.
Basketball.
Oh, is it basketball or volleyball?
No, it's
We the adult short films actor and he came from A Mighty Wind, which is put out by the same people that does Best in Show. Because
I don't know if I ever watched that one, but I've heard of it.
it's like folk singers. It's about 4 different groups of folk singers, and the girl that was like in Parks and Rec, the blonde-haired girl, and then she
Amy
was on
Poehler?
Glee.
Oh yeah.
She plays as one of the folk singers in a group, and she talks about she was an actress that made short adult films. In other words, she's a porn star. That's her character in the movie.
Well, as long as the nudity and the sex advance the plot, I guess it's okay. In a 10-minute feature.
There used to be a TV channel where they take a porn and cut out
Oh,
all
that was
the
MTV. I think
knives.
it was-
They cut out all the porn and only would do like
Yeah,
the line part. Actually, it was kind of funny.
Yeah, because the whole porn would take like 15 minutes because they cut out all the sex. Because it would just flash up like in a silent movie. You'll say Jane and these 2 guys make love, and then it's on to the next dialogue because the dialogue snippets are so short. It was hilarious. I think it was on MTV.
Oh Lord!
Yeah, it was funny.
There's no
It's-
plot.
That's the reason I joke about people putting on their scarves, because the tennis player it's 100 degrees and he's got a scarf on, Usually teach some lessons.
Yeah, I bet. And don't you still have some of those X-rated movies or videos we
Yeah, I
got
do.
rid
Yeah.
of? Jesus
I gotta
Christ.
take them down.
We still have plenty of those.
Got a couple of totes full.
Yeah. They're going to.
That's the reason they
Goodwill will sell those.
that's the reason they stole storylines from mainstream films like The Hills Have Thighs. So they didn't have to come. They didn't have to come up with any kind of storyline. They could just
Heard of that?
steal that one, throw some sex into it, and they're good to go.
Harry Pooter. That was a classic.
We have that one in our collection.
You have
Roberta's boss wanted her to run the top 10 movies shown on their cable system. And she called him back and she said, I don't think you want this. I think we need to throw some parameters in there. She said, he said, why is that? She said, because the number two movie was like The Hills Have Thighs. Followed by number 3 is Harry Cooter. And number 4, he's like, yeah, I think we need to just throw a variable in there that shows that it's not X-rated movies.
Hey, Tom, another good one is Everybody Loves Lucy. It's with Audrey. What the hell is her last name? Her first name's Audrey. Anyway, yeah, she's an adult, and she has a special thing. Her specialty.
Okay.
What is it? Audrey Hollander. Audrey Hollander. So if you Google Audrey Hollander, you'll see what her special trick is. I won't ruin it for you.
There was just about there was
Yeah.
a porn movie made with a similar title to just about every major motion picture.
Star Wars.
Oh,
You might want to run. They're talking about Harry Pooter and I Love Lucy. Not in a good way.
well, because
When Harry ate Sally. Yeah, there's some good ones out there.
Getting older.
But you know what? The movie, the show I was talking about earlier, The Italians. That damn thing might as well be porn because they're just banging it out on the damn TV screen. You know?
Mike said hidden talent. She says Yoda. Or she has Yoda. Oh my God.
Oh lordy.
Oh man.
Or we deviated from the
digress.
norm.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you do, Ansley,
I love you.
because we have to rehearse hours to get this thing to look smooth. This is a professional production. Hours of rehearsal goes into it.
Yeah, there's a script.
That's right.
I think we went off that.
You could write a script with the left turns the conversation takes.
Yeah.
You could plan it out if you tried.
No.
No, you can't.
Yeah,
Taking her out.
I just these planned out shows just don't seem to work for me.
No, they really don't.
You should do an outline.
This reminds me of if you ever watch Talladega Nights when they're all eating at the table and they're talking about how their kids were throwing Chips war medals off the bridge and stuff, and then they pray to baby Jesus, not grown man Jesus. All of these shows remind me of that because it just goes from one topic to the next.
Yeah.
Thank you, baby Jesus.
Sex, you know. Food porn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you
On his ice cream.
Talking
the
about-
most famous and remembered line out of that whole movie is if you're not first, you're last.
Yeah.
Oh Lord, help me.
No,
Steve,
it doesn't make any sense. You could come in second. You could come in third. When he tells the dad, he's like, "Yeah, Dad, you told me that." The kid,
I was smoking a lot of peyote at the time.
hey, Rob, stop.
I'm hopped up on Mountain Dew, Chip.
Yeah. Coming at you like a spider monkey. I like when they're throwing the dad out of the school and his legs are up in the air and he's going, "This is egregious. I was in prison with you."
That was your cellmate.
Yeah.
Yeah. He says, "I'm an amateur fire, or I'm a volunteer fireman and an amateur tattoo artist." Because the teacher tells him he can't smoke, and he tells her that's why it's okay.
Oh Lord, that was a good movie.
What was it they always went? They like to go to dinner at
Applebee's.
Yeah, Applebee's
Applebee's.
with the hair or the pubic hair and the French fries.
Yes, God, that was a nice.
At least in Mississippi.
Oh my God.
Yeah, never go to Applebee's in Mississippi. You're gonna get pubic hair every
Just tell them to
time.
hold the
I haven't been in an Applebee's in 20 years.
That's been a long time for us.
I like when they're having that big crash. The crash takes so long that they got to run the Applebee's.
Applebee's.
That old Applebee's commercial where it's Doctor.
Oh Lord.
That's a
Step
crazy
Brothers is
movie.
another good one too. I like Step Brothers and that Talladega Nights. They're pretty
Yeah.
good.
Blades of Glory, or was it Blades of Glory?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When he throws up in his costume,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Story was pretty good.
he's getting drunk with the Woodland Fairies. And he gets sick in his wizard mask.
He really is funny. Even back in the days when he and that little short girl would do the cheerleaders.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh, they're just he's funny.
Yeah.
But on YouTube there was a video about it was this little girl that shows up and she's supposed to be his landlord. Have y'all seen that?
Oh yeah.
Good,
Is
yeah.
that his real daughter?
It's like Pearl. No, I don't
Pearl.
know. It's like one of his producer's daughters.
Oh, okay. I
And
didn't.
she bangs on the door. Where's my money, bitch?
That money, bitch.
It's like, okay, now
drunk. Oh, then he goes, "You're drunk," and then she's like, "No, I just had a couple beers."
What's a miniseries that we like that had
Spoils of Babylon.
Have you ever watched Spoils of Babylon?
uh-uh.
Oh,
that was pretty good.
You might like it, Tom. It was pretty good. Anyway, he plays the writer. It's supposed to be like these old 80s miniseries, you know, that they do off a book. And he plays the writer, and he's just always kind of drunk on wine and stuff. Actually, it was pretty funny.
He's supposed to be like Orson Welles. He's like big and he's like 600 pounds and he's
Yeah.
drinking Chardonnay and he's demanding more wine and the waiter's like, you've had enough, he won't serve him. That's pretty funny. Yeah, good. It's with Tobey Maguire.
Yeah, Tobey Maguire and the skinny girl from Saturday Night
The
Live.
crazy one.
Yeah, that was in Bridesmaids. I forgot her name.
Toby
Tina Big.
Yeah.
Maguire. No, that's the actor. I'm thinking of the movie where he Show Me the Money.
He's what?
That's
He-
Tom Hanks.
The catchphrase "Show Me the Money" came from
Oh, that's Jerry Maguire.
Jerry Maguire.
Yeah.
No, Tobey Maguire was Spider-Man. He was in Cider House Rules.
Seabiscuit. He's the jockey in Seabiscuit.
Yeah.
Cheerleaders.
I don't watch that.
Well,
I don't.
Spoils of Babylon wasn't in the movie theaters. It was made for AMC. I think it was that on AMC or Independent Film
I think it was IFC. Yeah.
IFC. It was probably on. That's where it was. It was. I thought it was funny. It was my kind of funny.
What was it?
It's called Spoils of Babylon.
Oh, I've seen that.
It's funny. It's cheesy. It's
Yeah.
Well, like,
They're like
it's hard to
making fun.
describe.
They're making fun of like the old '80s. You know, like when we were kids, it was like the miniseries was on, like North and South. Or,
Yeah, it was like
or
that.
whatever miniseries was. It's kind of like spoofing off of that.
okay, I had to check that out then. Yeah, 'cause I like all that kind of like spoofing on stuff.
Yeah, Roots, all of those. What was the one with in the Samurai
Oh, Shogun.
Shogun? Oh God, my uncle.
Yeah, that was good.
My uncle stopped whatever he was doing when 8 o'clock came, so he could watch that damn show.
That was a good one.
Yeah, this is like making fun of the old miniseries. You know, like remember the Thornbirds when it came on?
Yeah.
It'd be like
It was like a lot
10
like
episodes,
Thornbirds.
yeah.
Thornbirds, yeah.
You know, like when you'd go to school and you'd be like, "Oh my God, did you see the Thornbirds last night?" You know, you don't have
No.
anymore.
I don't even think I've watched that as an adult.
Anyway.
Thornbirds.
Yeah.
We have the whole set of North and South on VHS.
One and two.
We've watched that, which it's
Well,
something
the
else.
first North and South is good with Patrick Swayze, but you get into the second one, and it's just that guy from Star Trek, #1 from Star Trek.
Oh yeah, Riker.
I think he's the main character or whatever. Isn't he the guy?
Is he the guy from up north?
I think he is. Remember, because he was friends with
Patrick
Swayze, but then they're split because of the war. Well, in the second half, Swayze's too big to keep him in North and South, so they lose him after like the first episode. So then you got this other guy, the supporting guy, is trying to carry the rest of the thing, and it just doesn't
and
work.
that woman Christina Alley from
Chrissy
Cheers.
Alley from
Yeah.
Cheers. Yeah, I mean, it just doesn't. Yeah, the second half is not good. It's like the Star Trek when they go back and find the whales or whatever. It just sucks.
Yeah.
That was a Star Trek that should never been made.
I tell you what, Disney has beat Star Wars to death. I mean,
Oh yeah.
all my friends that were avid Star Wars fans are like, why do they keep turning this crap out? Why do you keep going to watch this crap? Because you know it's going to
The
be crap.
last one. I hope
Yeah.
that the next one comes out in December. I hope it's good. The last one was not that good. The Last Jedi. Honestly, the Han Solo movie I thought was a lot better than The Last Jedi. But you had all these Star Wars fans are up in arms because they wanted that other actor to play Han Solo. But that middle trilogy movie, that Last Jedi, that was kind of, that was a little lame. There was a couple alright parts, and I went to the theaters and watched it, but yeah, it was not that great.
I only like the original ones.
I watch all of them.
'Cause
Yeah,
you're,
it's hard.
you're a big Star Wars fan, aren't you?
Well, I watch all of them. I can't say all of them are good, but I do watch all of them.
Yeah, I don't like the prequels. I could not watch if none of those were. And if those 3 movies were never made, I'd have been okay with that.
Yeah. Well, the last one of the prequels was the best one, but that middle one was really bad.
It's like, to me, it's like that last one of the prequels. It's like a Harry Potter movie, and I don't understand it, and I can't even stay awake for it. Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings, the same thing. I get halfway through and I'm out, man. I mean, it's like NyQuil.
I went.
It's like the story just goes on. It's a never-ending story. It's like, oh, please stop. I can't take it anymore.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings can get long.
My best friend and I went with another group of friends to watch the opening night of the first Lord of the Rings movie. It was like at midnight. By 12:20, I was about to fall asleep because all this. It's a travel documentary is what it is. They had hours of just walking through woods and stuff like that, and I was like so bored.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was,
Ah.
yet my son and my wife, they love those movies. I had to say it quietly that I think.
Well, and they work up to the battle.
And then the movie's over. You gotta wait a year and a half.
But
for the next one
it's
to
always
come
some
out.
big battle and conflict. By the time they get to the damn battle, I forget what the hell they were fighting over. It's just they're fighting like for no freaking reason because I can't even remember what the hell the fight was over. Anyway, yeah.
No, or they'll leave it as some big battle cliffhanger, like
Yeah.
those Lord of the Rings, and then it's like, okay, that's the end. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me! This is the end of the movie, and I gotta wait 2 years for this next movie to come out. Yeah.
But we finished watching the movie. I didn't go to sleep, and I walk out of there and I say, "Chris, what the hell was that?" And he says, "I don't know. I don't know why you wanted to come see this." And I'm like, "Why you sound like my wife. Why I wanted to come see this?" I said, "We wanted to come see this together." And you know what? I've not seen any of the other ones. I couldn't make it through the first one. And then they came out with The Hobbit, which I read all
I
the books
remember
when I was in high school. They came out with The Hobbit. And everybody's saying, they were chasing money. They should have made that sucker in 2 movies instead of 3 and called it a day.
Yeah.
Oh, listen.
I remember
Once
walking out of the
Lisa,
theater.
She was geeking out on the first.
When the first. Go ahead, Tom.
She was just talking about she saw the first Lord of the Rings movie at midnight, and she was geeking out. My wife just liked it because of the guys that was in it. Their big swords. I mean, that's all it was.
Right.
I could never get into Lord of the Rings.
The movies I just couldn't get into.
I liked them, but I couldn't do it more than once. It was enough to watch once, but my mom watched Star Wars and all that stuff whenever I was younger, so it just wasn't a really big thing for me after that. But that was just always her
Yeah,
thing.
I mean,
Well,
I like it. I like going to Star Wars Disneyland Star Wars thing.
right.
I still like it.
I remember walking out of the theater in 1977. Star Wars. I just got done watching it with a buddy of mine from school. We walk out of the theater. We're like, yeah, that was the greatest movie ever. And these 2 guys behind us, which at the time, I guess, I knew gay people were around, but I didn't really. But looking back, because these guys totally had they were gay. Okay, the one guy looks at the other guy, and he I guess the accent. Anyway, tells the other guy, he goes, "I love that movie, but it was just so violent." And me and my friend look at each other like, we're like, what the hell? It's called Star Wars. What the hell did you expect? It was violent.
They forgot the wars.
It wasn't like Star Tea Party. Anyway, I just remembered it just cracked me up.
It's not even that violent.
No, well, these 2 guys, I don't know.
But when the
Then they
first
hugged
3
each other
movies
and had a
came
lot of
out, it was the technology was amazing because it was new. It was cutting edge. Now,
Well, and
now you watch stuff
it
on.
was more though. Tom.
Do what?
It was like Harrison Ford. You got this super cool guy. He's got all the cool one-liners. You know, you got the girl, you got the reckless kid. It was a good story,
Yeah.
too. I mean, it was, and then on top of that, they put in these amazing special effects. Yeah, it was. I mean, it was a whole package. The first one.
But you know, you can't make everybody happy because, like, I've seen all the Harry Potter movies, and there's one that I will never watch again, and I think it's the. Is it Half-Blood
Every Harry
Prince?
Potter movie.
Yeah, it's the one with the where's Deb at? Deb, what's the one with the crazy bitch that takes over the school?
Hermione? Is she the crazy?
No. She's an adult. She wears pink all the
I've seen
time.
this.
Order of the Phoenix.
It's called
I
Jim's
think that's
First
what it
Wife.
was. Order of the Phoenix.
Or Marcel's both wives.
Anyway, I will watch that one. I hate that movie just because of that crazy bitch in it. It has nothing really to do with the whole storyline. It's like, okay,
We're still pissed at Universal because they took out the Jaws ride to
Yeah.
put in Harry Potter Land. So
well, see, that's what I've heard too. Is that you know that it's not all that. You know, it's cool, it's neat, but Jaws was better. And apparently they still have the Jaws ride in
Japan.
is it in Japan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so much fun. If you've ever ridden Jaws, I mean, it was campy, it was fun. And now, what are you going to do? Ride around on your magic broomstick in Harry Potter
Well,
Land
and the
and
reason-
drink some butter
The reason
beer?
they justified getting rid of Jaws was because it was dated. They're like, yeah, we want something that'll go on. You know, they'll have like a perpetual
But it was
appeal.
a classic.
Well, yeah, but at least Jaws doesn't age. The rubber shark doesn't get old. You can run it in movies over and over.
Yeah.
The Harry Potter kid, yeah, Hermione's got, you know, jugs. It doesn't work anymore. She's not a little kid. She's
Yeah,
a grown-ass woman.
And
Yeah.
Harry Potter was in that movie where he's riding a horse.
Yeah. So anyway, so they're
Oh,
going.
yeah.
I mean, so what has happened to that? I mean, that's become dated. I mean, Harry Potter at the time they put it in, it was already at the end of it. It wasn't at the beginning. It was at the end of its run when they put the stupid park in.
It's
Bad Universal, bad.
That bad Universal.
they take out both
Yeah,
Disney,
I'm not watching a Quidditch game drinking butterbeer.
both Disney and
Yeah.
Universal. They take these rides out, and I'm thinking we need to sit down and figure out how to engineer this sucker so we can take it on the road, you know, and take it to places.
Well, no, I will.
Take it to like Charlotte, North Carolina, where people there's a lot of people that will never go to Disney World or Universal because it costs you $100 a day to go there. You know,
120, but it's counting.
take them up there and you know let it run for 6 months and at $20 a pop because there's people that would pay it, especially the Jaws ride.
Here's the thing, though. As far as the admission, though, I mean, they got a lot of people want to get in there, and it costs $80 to fill up your truck. So when you look at it that way, the $100 to get in ain't that bad.
I will
Yeah.
say, like, well, I was there at 16. The Star Wars stuff in Disney Hollywood Studios is kind of revitalized that park because I don't know, because we usually do one park a day, and we did Hollywood Studios before Disney. I'm like, this is kind of lame. But I will say with the Star Wars stuff, it kind of like amped that park up some. Didn't you
Yeah.
think so? Like made it a little better. Anyway.
Well, Rump Stump says that you know a whole new class of kids is discovering the world every day. My 9-year-old is reading the first book from the Harry Potter series. The books are always better than the movies. I mean, it don't matter what. I mean, Stephen King's the books are always better than the movies. Harry Potter's the same way. The books because they can't put all the information in there.
Yeah, the rich you
Me
got.
and Jim are just bitter about the job, right? So anything
Well, I
that
don't
we
blame
say
you
about
because
the
Brooke and
Harry
I wrote
Potter
it, and that was funny as hell. Because you know the captain's up there driving the boat, looking at you and just going everywhere, and he goes, "Oh my God, there's a shark!" And he pulls his gun out and he goes, and there's about a 5-second delay, and then there's like a pow, and the water explodes up.
Yeah.
Years ago.
Oh my God,
The
me and
real well, there's a real reason why. I'll just put in this real quick. There's a real reason why they got rid of Jaws. It was the expense. Every time they ran that Jaws ride, it was a huge the propane and stuff that was expended for the special effects.
Yeah.
I guess it was one of their most expensive showing per event. It was one of their highest cost rides, and that's one of the primary reasons they actually did get rid of it. So it wasn't because it was dated; it was just because it was too expensive.
I was pissed off because they took out Beetlejuice's review.
Oh my God! Oh my gosh! You know that thing where they check out my colon every 3 years? Even when I have to drink the poop milkshake before I go.
We went to Universal in
Oh,
95, 94. That's the last time I've been to Universal.
we went in 2005.
The Clinton administration. Trump's complaining about Universal. He hasn't been there since Clinton was.
I was 21 years old the last time Tom was at Universal.
So do y'all just go to Disney when you're down there?
Well, yeah.
I know something.
We had it's kind of nice to go to Disney now with the Star Wars thing. So last time we were there, well, yeah, we've done Disney the last 2 times. We did throw SeaWorld in there one day. And then, like, every other time we try to do Gatorland because that's kind of like the redneck theme park. So we like to do Gatorland.
Why gotta be redneck? Always got
Never been to Gatorland? Oh, yeah, it's totally redneck. Anyway, no offense. I mean, we're redneck. But, yeah,
Right.
we try to do that about every other trip. We try to make Gatorland up.
Oh, that's great.
Shut up.
Have you ever seen the Flight of the Disney movie Flight of the Navigator?
Gatorland is kind of like Gatorland's kind of the Walmart of theme parks. You know what I mean? Where you're gonna see kids getting like slapped around a little
Where
bit.
they wear
Yeah.
spandex? You can see their
It's kind of like a trip to Walmart with alligators.
Did y'all ever see the Flight of the Navigator, the
Oh,
Disney
God.
movie?
dying over here.
Yeah,
There's one-
I
there's
don't
one part where
know if I made it through it. But
My kid brother watched it.
one of
I sat through it.
one of
You
the
watching it as a grown man on purpose.
one of the scenes was where they landed. You know, the spaceship lands at one of these Florida roadside attractions. You know, with the gators and all that kind of stuff there. And then these yuppies drive up in a minivan and they say, "Well, I don't know about the rest of it, but their spaceship it looks pretty realistic." But you know,
I don't remember.
there's a big fat guy, you know, with a cowboy hat on who runs it's a convenience. Well, it's a gas station.
Don't kill me.
Shark. Who the hell is calling, texting me at this time of night?
I don't know.
Remember you telling me to get the hell off the line?
Beetlejuice, thank you.
Somebody just
I got
Probably somebody wants to use your AOL account and you're tying up bandwidth.
fan. So I got to see me one of those little
Menopause kicking in right now.
menopause.
You're not right.
I thought I heard that dial-up sound in the background.
That's how AOL calling you. Hey, they ain't using it no more. Stop, get rid of it.
Tom's trying to make a phone call, stay on the internet, and fax them.
Is it a rotary or what?
One. Oh,
I hope y'all really enjoy coming on my show. Cause y'all sure do slam at me a lot.
you love us, though.
Oh,
you wouldn't
my.
have it no other way.
And Kathy's over there, you know, damn, is the air conditioner set on about 30? Because she's having flashes like hell over there.
It's that on 60 69 over here dying. Somebody got to send me a fan. And I got a box fan going too. So, well, it's over there in the corner. I got to get it
Well,
going.
turn the AC on.
It's on until 69. The best number ever.
Well, that's the problem.
It's
69 is too hot for you.
Huh?
69 is too hot for you.
Evidently.
Sounds like, look,
That's the problem.
next time we see him, Kathy's gonna be walking around and she's fine, and Marcel's gonna have a damn sweater on and a toboggan. 'Cause she's got to get down to about 64.
I'm dying over
You see
here.
me in a park tomorrow.
The windows be fogged up and shit. I don't know what's going on in here. Kathy over here having hot flashes again. I'm gonna
You're not old enough to have hot flashes yet.
I am having hot flashes, Tom. Yeah, it's like blood pressure temperature.
Sure, your menopause minute now. Kathy's having hot flashes.
Menopause minute. Y'all were just not right.
I need one of those fans.
Y'all were just such fun.
I can't with y'all. I ain't had so much fun in a while. So
Well, I'm glad I
You
brought
should get a sponsorship from some fan company, for the menopause minute.
What the hell? When the lady says she's talking about things with aging or whatever. She's like feminine dryness, sexy.
Oh, yeah.
TV
That
commercial.
was SNL.
No, that's a real commercial.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's for some medicine or something.
Well, that doesn't sound like a good commercial.
Well,
yep, can't have that.
when she's being sarcastic, she's not saying it is sexy.
I like the commercial for the fan, and it's got like this. It's a fan that has a tube, so that when you lay under your comforter on the woman's side of the bed, she can have this fan that's just blowing air under the covers. It's just a real product.
Sounds like a done joke.
Marcel, you just need to go get a window unit and put it in one of the bedrooms and make her sleep in there.
He's got to put in one of those like commercial refrigeration systems and just lock her in the ice box.
Wait a minute, there's law against that.
Yeah, I think there is.
Yeah.
You have to have your airflow, man, going.
Yeah, I have to have the ceiling fans on, and I have them turned up wide because I have to have the air's got to be, moving. I feel like I'm suffocating. But
Are you having the hot flashes too, Tom?
no, I'm not. Thank you kindly.
See, I had a ceiling fan and a fan right beside her bed. So yeah, I keep him he's like 69 degrees up in here. I'm dying. I got like a sheet on me over here dying. I'm old. Look at these flashes. That's right, Reese. From Stoltz Reseller.
Sympathy flashes.
Nope.
Yeah. No, it is a real thing. You put it and it goes like under your quilt or whatever, and then just blows air up on you under the blanket.
They make it like a portable, like a Snuggie. That thing that we wear around the house.
Yeah, that's
And
like,
then you have a fan back.
yeah.
Mike says, "Oh man, a fan set up specially to blow air up your tailpipe."
Oh, yeah. Nope.
Honestly, that fan
Don't
that
smoke while you're using it.
honestly the fan that blows air under the quilt kind of sounds like a good idea to me. I thought, oh yeah, that'd be good.
That might not be a bad idea. I had to look into that.
Yeah, you do that.
I get twin beds.
We can do that too.
Well, he can block the air with the quilt. You got a quilt on, but you got air moving on you. You don't have to kick the blanket off.
You need to sleep with someone who opens up all the windows when it's 50 degrees, turns the fan on, but then of course it's still hot, but she doesn't let you have the comforter. She puts her legs on top of the comforter so you can't pull it over.
Starting to feel like,
I'm hot.
You wake up with pneumonia.
Well, Jim, don't tell the secret.
I got the sheet. That's all I got. And it's cold.
Well, that's because when you sleep in bed with them, they produce too much body heat. They get underneath you got it good. Then they come to bed, get under the quilt, and now they're all hot, blowing their hot air on you. And
Yeah,
stuff.
he's hot as hell.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
No, not like that.
No.
This ain't a good hot. This is like you better get the hell off me hot.
Yeah, like too much heat. Yeah, it's like having like a little furnace in the bed, but it ain't doing anything. All it's doing is heating everything up.
You're getting stuck together. Not in a good way.
Except for sleep, so shit.
You know-
a blanket that blows air.
Well, there's a tornado, obviously, hot and cold.
I want one of those beds where he has the dual temperature control, but of course I don't have one. You know, where you can make your side of the bed cooler than theirs.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
Well,
would make my
you
side cooler.
And I wouldn't. I'd let you be as high as you
You're a
want.
control freak. She was like, oh yeah, she doesn't want it that hot.
Down this cold
This is way too hot for you. You
Back,
guys give me both controllers.
They're not supposed to be, dang it.
back when my grandmother was alive,
Over
my
here.
dad's mom, she didn't have central heat in her house. She just had like the gas heaters in like two of the main rooms. And so she had electric blankets on all the beds. And when my brother and I would sleep in one double bed. And she had the electric blankets with the two controllers. One morning we got up and I was like, I was about to burn up. Grandma, something's wrong with your electric blankets. I kept turning it down and it kept getting hotter.
Oh my God. You're probably turning it up.
She had crossed the controllers. So I was turning the thermostat down on Terry's side of the bed. And he was turning his side up, but he turned my side of the bed up.
Oh,
So I was like at 100 degrees, and he was like at 20 degrees on his side.
Oops. Hey, it happens.
See, and that's good memories. People don't even use electric blankets anymore because they disrupt your electrical flow of your body.
Oh, what?
What?
Well, that's what they say that they put out electrical waves and it disrupts the electrical flow of your body. You know,
They just make me too hot. I'm already too hot as it is. It's
Yeah, I
hell.
don't need an electric blanket.
I have like 5 fans going on, so Marcel might need one. I'm going to send him 1 or 2.
Marcel, it'd just be easier for you to go get on another
Buy
bed.
him a Snuggie for Christmas or something, or his birthday or something.
He's got, I already got him one of those no soap blankets. Plus, we have a regular blanket and a sheet, so I'm gonna have to get him something extra to put on there because it's getting way too much going on here. Yeah, I know these blood pressure problems, man. You heat it quick.
Yeah, let's blame it on that.
My son Vanya, until he was about 17 years old, he would always sleep in onesie. You know, the footed pajamas.
Oh yeah, those are awesome.
He would sleep in them every night because he would be cold. He would freeze.
And
And so he had, as soon as they would start coming out, we'd start looking for one for a tall, skinny teenager that would fit. And he'd clump around here and with his fitted pajamas on.
Lord have mercy.
And he's from Russia and he was cold all the time in North Carolina.
Well, he was little when he came, so he climatized.
Yeah, they didn't get used to it.
Give
I
it,
thought they're like Siberian Huskies. They always kind of crave the cooler temperatures.
nah.
No, that's just you.
No, right, Summer?
nah.
Jill, I wish my menopause would go away. I don't know what.
Rocking the onesie,
Oh
yeah.
my God, Jim gets them. He's bought them. But he'll buy those. Okay, you know at Walmart, they'll have those onesie Halloween costumes. He buys those and wears them for pajamas. They're like pajama material. So he's got like one where he's like dressed like Dracula. And then
Okay, so you
like,
got to come online one day with one of those.
he has on Scott's show. Or I think either one it was, I don't know if it was on Dusty's channel or on Scott's channel too. He came
I think it
out
was
like
Dusty.
wearing the
You
Dracula.
gotta come on our channel then once at least with one.
When I was a kid, my mom would have to order them from Montgomery Ward, but she did find that was where she found where you could order them in adult sizes. Those because they're awesome. You wake up in the morning, you don't have to look for slippers or shoes or nothing. You just hop on. You already got your feet. You already got shoes on.
See, we
Well,
Except when you got dogs
That's right.
walking around with your footies on, and then you got like fur feet.
No, the funny part is like covered with like vinyl. It's like
Yeah, dog hair.
oh,
In Tom's case, cat hair.
Yeah.
Or sons walk around with cat
Hey.
hair. Then
see, kid steals them more.
see that's a cat's middle finger right there. I'm not amused.
Oh well,
I'm
mine was
used
actually
to
a
it.
onesie though. It was I got the kind that had it was just a pants with the footies, but it did have a different separate top. But the Halloween costume ones are onesies
yeah.
because if you have to go to the bathroom, it's like a pain in the butt. It's like those people on Star Trek. They'd have to stop production. Have you ever watched like stuff about the making of Star Trek? That was their biggest complaint was they'd have like stop production so they could go to the bathroom because their suits weren't one piece.
Yeah.
They had to go to the John. It was like a big major deal. It wasn't the first one. Earlier, it was Next Generation where they're all wearing those onesie unitards.
Oh
Yeah.
God, yeah. Could you imagine? Nope.
So they'd have to before they'd shoot, they had to make sure everybody went to the bathroom. So they wouldn't have-
Everybody help pee. Kids.
I told you to go before we left.
Yeah. Told you to go before we started shooting the show. You gotta hold it now.
Joseph, they have you can watch it on repeat.
Yeah. they have
Replay.
a repeat. We talk about all kinds of stuff, not only reselling, so you'll like it.
We just kind of get off the tangent on this thing because it's the evening and we're just having a good time, and we can without people giving us ugly looks and whatnot.
Yeah, it's not the same, but it's still funny. If you need something to listen to that makes you laugh.
Yeah.
Today
And
was really good, Tom. You got to go back and re-listen to it.
Do I?
You got to go right back and re-listen to today's show. Jesus Christ.
Did y'all get carried away again?
Well, yeah, it was actually kind of fun with Mary. Arkansas Central Time. It's like, yeah, you're Central. You're the normal time,
Normal time, it's Arkansas.
the right time.
Yeah, we're Eastern now. We used to be normal time, but now
Oh man,
we're Eastern.
we can't. We got to put y'all back into the normal time.
Oh, no,
Walk away from Central Time.
That's
Jim,
true.
you say you'll move when Kathy sends the Mayflower truck over to get all your stuff and move it for you.
Flower truck you got going. Yeah,
I think we already moved, Tom.
No, what she said, you need to move to someplace where the time is right.
Time. Well, yeah, we have to move about 30 miles west.
I know, right?
We're about 30 miles from the time zone border. Because
I have a friend just south of me that's Central Time.
yeah. So we're about 30 miles from Central Time.
Yes, Mike. There's still people in
I don't know if
Arkansas.
they're called people anymore. but-
Hey, yes, they are.
Well,
No,
the real estate office that had this place listed, they were Central Time. So we called them up and we set the appointment. But because the property was in Eastern Time, the agent figured we were going to be here Eastern Time. So we showed up. We drove by the house twice because we wanted to kind of get in there, kind of want to walk around before the real estate agent got there. We knew it was vacant. But there's this car in the driveway. We're like, crap, maybe they'll leave. Then finally we were like, well, hell, let's drive in and tell them we're early for the showing or whatever. It's a real estate agent. We're like 45 minutes late because he figured it was Eastern Time because the property was in Eastern. I'm like, well, your office is Central. He's like, well, yeah. I'm like,
No, his office is not.
Illinois too.
oh, Lebanon's not Central?
No, when you go up to Lexington and Louisville, it's all Eastern
Oh,
Time.
my bad. Well, whatever. Well, we bought the place, so you didn't complain. But
Well, you bought it like right then, cash money, didn't you?
yep,
Yeah, wrote an offer.
the seller was here.
Yeah, closed on it like 7 days later, the next week.
Nice.
No, first
You
we
know-
wrote the offer. Well, we wrote the offer with the agent. Then we went and had lunch in Lexington. 'Cause
No, we went and looked at property south of us, like down by Monticello, and
we did that first. Then
No.
we looked at this one.
no, and then we went out. We wrote the offer, and you're like, I don't think they're going to take that offer. We went and looked at some properties that were south of here, did drive-bys, and then we spent the night. And then that morning we ate breakfast in Lexington. The next
Oh, it wasn't the
morning,
same
we
day.
were
Okay.
going to look at a property that was east of Lexington.
Oh, yeah, anyway, so the real estate agent calls us. We're eating a Golden Corral breakfast. And the guy says, hey, come on down. That guy's going to accept that offer. So I'm like, okay. So we canceled the showing and went back down and bought. Then we bought the place because the real estate agent's like, no, we can't close that fast. We can't close that fast. And we're talking to the seller. We're like, we can close today.
Well, no, we couldn't do it today.
Well, no, but we could have
Yeah,
done a wire
check.
transfer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So anyway, yeah, we're ready to close. The guy's, oh, no, we need to draft the deed. We need to do all this other stuff. So we had to wait a week. The earliest they could close it was a week.
That's like buying a damn car. Why does it take 2 hours to close a car deal? Ouch.
Well, this was fast in Kentucky because Jim used to be a real estate agent. I mean, he's like, I don't even know if we really just bought a piece of property. They're like closing papers are like a single sheet. We're up in Wisconsin, they'd be like 8 sheets. I mean, it was just very
And not on a
simple.
state-approved bar form or anything. It's just like written on a piece of paper. Well, it's typed on a piece of paper, but it's like, yeah, and then notarized. I'm like, but I'm not even sure this is a legal document. But I guess it is. They recorded the deed.
Napkin, right?
Yeah, the property's in our name, but yeah, I mean, like when we sold property in Wisconsin, I mean, it's like an 8-page thing that you fill out at
And
the
it's
closing.
a form that's approved by the state bar. Here, it's just a written out piece of paper with a written out legal description.
It was like, okay, you know, like when you do a photocopy on another piece of paper, but the writing isn't exactly straight. It doesn't like photocopy exactly perfectly straight. That's
Right.
kind of what the paper looked like for the
It's
closing.
cockeyed,
I'm
yeah.
like, okay.
And that's the way it's recorded. That's why it's
Yeah.
on the microfiche at the courthouse.
Well, see, maybe they're keeping their real estate people at bay and not let them, control everything and make it so complicated.
I don't know
I
if their
guess.
realtors are as like in Wisconsin, like when you're a real estate agent, you have the realtor group is really in control with everything. And I don't know if they have that down here, like where you know how the realtors run the MLS and you have like the Northwoods realtors. I don't think they really
Yeah,
do
they're still
that down
they're
here.
still like showing their own listings. They don't like show their offices. Like if you call an office, they're like real. Oh, that's not our listing.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Well, that's like a girl I know down in Rock Hill. She's a realtor, been a realtor for 35 years. She, her mother lives in Tennessee and was selling her property out there. So she wanted her to come out there and go with her to meet with the realtor that was listing it and all this kind of stuff. And she was like, what kind of backwoods hell is this? Because, there was in South Carolina, they have, all these different forms for, you agree to, if, what do they call it? Like if somebody comes in
Agency?
without a realtor, this comes in without a realtor or whatever, was it a buyer's realtor?
Well, it's your agency agreement. Yeah, Wisconsin has that too. You have to establish who's representing who. So when the buyer's talking to someone, they know whether or not they're being represented by that person or if that
Right.
person was actually representing the seller. It's an agency disclosure form is what that's called, and it's like 3 pages in Wisconsin.
Well, that's what it is like down there too.
Have one.
She and she said there was none of that kind of stuff out there. It was like I agree I am allowing this real estate company to sell my property and I'm going to pay them this amount of commission and sign here and sign here and sign here. But she was like, what kind of backwoods hell is it?
Sign. It's yours.
But like I said, when you go in and buy a car, it should not be so damn. It shouldn't take 2 hours to do it. Especially with the technology now, where they should be able to just push a button, you key in all the information one time, push a button, and then them start printing out the forms that you got to sign.
Well, probably if you come in there straight with cash, you could probably buy a car pretty fast off.
Oh, we did.
It's probably when you got to do the financing and stuff.
God, I'd hate to think about financing because this
You know,
would
if
these
you
were
came
cash
in there,
purchases.
you said, I'm going to buy a brand new Ford truck and it's $72,000 and here's $72,000 cash, they probably can get it to you pretty fast.
Yeah.
It's the financing that takes a while.
Yeah, I think that's the really takes the work.
And I would drive that $72,000 truck off the lot. And as I went over as I left the apron and drove out onto the street, I think this thing just depreciated down to about 50 grand. An idiot.
My next door neighbors, his wife, she likes Nissan Maximas. I think it's Maximus. No, it's the one below Maxima. Anyway, she's had like 8 of them, and
The Altima.
they the what?
The Altima.
Altima. She they were
Well,
going
she
to
doesn't
Florida.
have anything on the dashboard.
She was wanting she decided she wanted another car. She wanted a new car before they left to go to Florida. So he says, fine, let's stop at the dealership and see what they got. They got their luggage in the trunk of the car. They're headed to Florida. And they pulled in and she says, I like that one because it was like a burgundy red color. She says, I like that one, brand new one. So they drove it. And my neighbor, he's like, okay, here's the deal. We're going to pay cash for this thing. But we're on our way to Florida, and you got 45 minutes to have us out the front door. Can you do it?
Oh, don't challenge me because I can.
He said they had like 3 people servicing and prepping that car, getting ready to, for it to hit the road. They there was like 3 people in there getting all the paperwork together. One guy was, printing it out, and another person was saying, okay, this is where you need to sign that. And he said in about 40 minutes, they were headed to Florida from Charlotte.
Yeah.
Don't let me go look at vehicles because that's how my Jeep came into my driveway because I said, hey, let's just go look. I pulled in, the guy came out there and goes, how much you want for your trade-in? I said, I want this. He goes, find what you want. I went and looked what I wanted. Within 30 minutes to less than an hour, we were driving out with a brand new Jeep. And I got exactly what I owed on that vehicle. Did not pay another dime for it.
Well, people, to me, if they take too long to get it, get the signatures on the paperwork, that people can get buyer's remorse real fast. Like,
Quick.
It's been
Yeah, I'm not allowed to just go look at vehicles no more. He's like,
Well,
oh,
we
no, no.
technically that was the dealership we bought the black
true. Yeah.
GMC from.
I traded in our 2013 for a 2014 truck. We had it less than 6 months, little Escort. I went and got me a brand new little Escort, and I wanted a truck, and we went and traded it in. I went to go look. Let me go look at trucks. I traded that sucker in, didn't know it down on that damn car, and had a brand new truck.
I hope it was at least a 2500 or a F250, and it
No,
wasn't a
F-150.
1500 or a
That's the color that I
F150.
wanted, and exactly what I wanted, and the whole vehicle. I got an F-150, and that's what I wanted. And it was everything that I wanted at the time.
Don't listen to Tom because everybody knows the F-150 was his favorite vehicle. Because that's what he always used to say.
I'm being
I used to
sarcastic
give you
because you're
grief.
always beating my chops about
I know.
150.
Well, you keep saying F-150, and I'm like, what are you going to do with that thing? Go to church?
I'm not going
Yeah,
to
that's what I
church.
do.
Hey, I know I load up storage units and bring them home.
All your eggs home and go to church?
No, I bring my storage unit home and
See,
the suckers.
you heard it's what she wanted. I never get anything I want. It's all about what she wants.
That's why he's keep on keeping them.
Y'all just
F1 truck is like a dog that weighs less than 30 pounds.
I
Which
look
is actually
like my
cat.
F-150 truck.
And a half-ton truck is actually a car with a bed.
It's like a
you know what? I have never had a problem hauling anything that I wanted to haul with an F-150.
What the hell are you hauling? Tell me
I've
what
hauled that trucker
Cardboard
full
box?
of mulch.
Full helium balloons?
I have hauled the back of a F-150 long bed full of that red mulch.
Oh wow! Well, there you got it, red mulch. And I bet you the springs are buried right down. Are your front tires still touching the pavement when you drove home?
God, Jim, if I wasn't such a good Christian, I'd say your wife's a bitch.
How are you doing a wheelie all the way home? How the hell did you steer?
I pull boats and every damn thing else with a 150.
Oh, hey, you know what though? You'll save money on tires because you can use lawn tractor tires on them.
Hey.
Come on now.
I like my F-150.
Hey, listen now. I had a Ford Ranger with the diesel engine in it.
No, so
Okay, did the red mulch come in bags or did you buy it bulk where they
I
dump
bought
it?
it. They put two.
They
They
put
put
10 bags
two.
of mulch in the back of the
They
truck.
put two front end loader fulls of mulch in the back of that truck.
Was
But
it for your fairy garden?
Yeah, they're like dime bags.
the dime bags cost you $50 now.
they expensive now. Inflation, according to the Democrats.
Yeah, well, I've been out of the game for a while. Last time I bought one, it was like 15 or 20 bucks.
I do not haul. Okay, let's set the ground here. I do not haul horses because if I can't afford people to take care of the horses, then I'm not having horses,
Oh boy.
and that would include them
Well, how
hauling
do you
in
go to
hay
the
for the
horse show?
horses.
How do you go to the horse show if you don't haul your horses there?
Hey,
I don't go to horse shows.
Horse show.
I watch them on TV.
that's how you haul them back. You don't. You let somebody else do it.
I can pull a boat.
Amen, Joseph. He has a 2000 F-150. It has 258,000 miles on it. Runs great.
Well, Fords are a good truck. I mean,
Yeah.
I got a Ford Expedition which has like the same engine as an F-150.
Oh, I do like our F-150. We can pull a good trailer with it with some heavy shit in it, and we get a bunch of our storage.
I'm pulling around his little canoe with his
He's so silly.
kayak. He's pulling those plastic kayaks
No, one
from
of
Walmart.
those stand-up surfboards. Now
Okay.
remember to put it and take it out of overdrive when you're pulling that thing.
Yeah, I can't sell mine either, Joseph. I love our truck.
My dad had a Ford F-150 with a 460 V8 in it. It was called a Country Squire or something like that. And he pulled a 21-foot cuddy cabin boat all over the East Coast for that thing. So, like I said, I would have been glad to take my little old 150 and run up to Wisconsin and help them move the rest of their concrete menagerie around, but I'm afraid it wouldn't do anything. So I just might as well not waste my time and their time.
Tara started out with pulling her horse trailer with a 1500 Chevy, which is like an F-150. It's a it's a half ton. Then she went to the 3/4 ton, and actually that worked pretty good. And then we got another 3/4 ton after that, and that one was working pretty good. But then we decided to get the 3500, the 1 ton with the dually. And I want to tell you, there is a difference because the half ton, you definitely know you're hauling a gooseneck trailer. The 3/4 ton, you know it's there, but it's not too. It's better, it's more stable. But then when you go up to the 1 ton, honestly, you don't even know that trailer's behind you.
Yeah.
And the transmission's set up for towing, the rear end's set up for towing, and it's got the the heavy duty springs and stuff. But if you're not going a big trailer, honestly, yes, the 150 is adequate.
I think you have me confused with somebody else because I am not going to be pulling a horse trailer around with nothing.
We pull trailers and we pop the tires. I mean, I took it into the mechanic. He just put the tire on that morning. I had to pull the trailer off, pull the tire off, and take it back down to the mechanic and get a new tire thrown on it. He looked at me. He's like, "What in the hell are you pulling?" I'm like, "I don't know. How many round bales do we have? 6, 7, 8 round bales on a trailer. We had it overloaded." Anyway, yeah. So he put the tire on that morning, and we popped it by that afternoon. So I had to go get a new tire from weight. It was just too much weight for the tire. It just popped.
If you're going to do stuff like that, then you have to have the tools to do it correctly. And yes, my brother says his F-250 pulls his bass boat a lot better than a 150 does. But then again, his bass boat's 21 foot long and got a 300 horse Mercury on the back of it.
That's a heavy boat to pull.
Yeah. So, but like I said, moi is not going to be dealing with no damn round bales of hay. Horses to have to feed them with the round bales of hay. I would be running to the Lowe's and getting a couple of bales of pine straw to put around my azalea bushes.
Yeah.
Maybe
I
some
don't
grass
like
seed.
Lowe's. I don't like Lowe's, and we have them here. We buy that styrofoam sheet because we do a lot of packing with it for bigger stuff, and they don't have it.
Oh,
Makes
really?
it bad. Yeah, 4x8 sheets of styrofoam. They don't have them.
We have it down here.
No, you not the what we're looking for. Not at Lowe's. We've been to 3 Lowe's and they don't have it. We're gonna have to go up to Louisville and go to Menards.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yes, I don't
Okay.
do Home Depot here.
You don't have Home Depots up there?
Yeah, and they didn't have it either.
Oh.
Caffeinated Christie asked how sales have been.
What?
We because we were moving, we were off for a while, but we really pumped it up this week and actually got our sales better.
Yeah.
But I will say I got a lot of weird, crappy offers on stuff. So people seem to be like tight.
Yeah.
A little tight with their money. I think it's because our August is always tough because I think people have gone on vacation. They blew their money on vacation. Now they got a lot of them have kids going back to school, so they're blowing money on back to school, and they're distracted by that. So I think that's where what August for us, August and April are usually our 2 worst months.
Today's been our better day because we did a $250 comic book,
Yeah, I saw that.
and then we did a $120 Visa card, one of those readers, those Visa cards that they have at the gas stations. We got they got that in the lawyer auction at the locker. That was $50. So we sold it for $120, and then we sold the $150 for that mirror.
Yeah.
So we did pretty good today, but we've been having some crappy days.
This is the best day in a while.
And we've only sold three items, so we had over $500 just with 3 items. So that wasn't so bad, but we've been doing pretty good with Outify.
Mhm.
We've been posting on Instagram with Outify, and that we haven't been promoting anything. I took everything off sales, but Outify's worked really well for us. So, like I said, we've been having some crappy month. This last month has been really bad for us.
Yeah, and I mean, like Somerset, slow sales scare me. But what I'm saying is, you can't base it on me because up until a week ago, I haven't listed on eBay in a month and a half.
Yeah.
And if you don't list, that activity on your account, I mean, it'll kill it.
Well, and we had a big obligation that we didn't really think about, with the move. So we had to come up with about $1,500.
Yeah.
Rather quickly, like in 4 or 5 days. So yeah, we just grabbed stuff that we had that was of value that we really weren't using or whatever. We said, okay, it's time to flip it. Or stuff that we're going to research more before we list it. It's like, hell with it. We're listing it. It's going up.
Yeah.
So we just pounded, and then we also started relisting stuff that we delisted for the move because we couldn't get at it. We just got religious about every day. We're just going to pound these listings, and everything turned around. Because I wasn't sure. I'm like, oh man, is it really this bad? Because our sales have just like shut off.
Yeah, ours
listings.
Yeah, and so mine with health issues, not being able to list as much, and I'm the same way. It's like I know ours was a lot because of me, but I really haven't been listing that much either. But I think a lot of things are starting to bounce back because you're getting close to that time for what you're getting Christmas time coming up. People are going to start buying now. So I think it'll start picking up for everybody. But we've been having some crappy.
Good night, Joseph.
Night, Joseph. Thank you for stopping by.
Well, when I was in the Bahamas, I asked the lady. I said, because the marketplace I was at looked kind of slow, and I said, how's business been? And she says it starts slowing down Why? She said this week because people in America, their kids are going back to school, and they're dropping $400 on school supplies.
Well, I think it's more than that, though, Tom, because what do you do at the end of the summer? Oh, the kids are going back to school. We ought to do something fun. So that's
Yeah.
what people wind up doing those last end of summer vacation. Oh, a lot of people, even people without kids, it's like, well, it's the end of summer. We ought to do something. They do take some type of vacation and drop some cash, even if they don't have kids.
But she said September was their worst month. She said, after Christmas, it's still busy. January, it's still, because everybody's trying to get out of the damn 32 below zero.
Yeah.
But she said September was their worst month.
Oh,
She said
well,
half the people.
for us, it'll start building in September typically. August is our worst month, and then September it starts building up to fourth quarter.
Oh, yeah.
Well, guys, it is 12:30 my
I
time,
know. I gotta go to bed.
and I've got to go to
Yeah,
bed
it's only
too.
11:37 by Kathy and Marcel.
He's only 11:30 here. We're ready to go. Let's
They're
go.
ready.
Well, I'm sorry.
Tomorrow night though, so we'll probably.
God. My kid, he's in the school system down here now, and every Friday they get out at 1:00.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
they
That's
go to school 8 to 3, except on Friday they only go till 1.
Yeah, so if we want to do something on the weekend, he's always off early. I mean, we can leave earlier on Friday because he gets out earlier. It's
Oh
sweet.
wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
When do they do that?
I don't know. We requested it for our convenience.
Because Kentucky kicks ass.
That's right. Welcome to the South.
So anyway, thank you guys for coming in here and hanging out with me. It's been really glad to have Jim and Tara in here because we haven't been able to see them in quite a long while. And I'm always thankful for Kathy and Marcel because y'all are such good folks and a lot of fun. And good old Deb, she always comes in here with me.
Yep.
Keep me company. She's a sweetheart too. I appreciate all y'all coming in, and I appreciate everybody in the chat that's been hanging out with us tonight, and especially you East Coasters, the correct time, because it's damn near midnight.
Yeah, no.
Yep.
So thanks for coming in, guys.
Night, everybody.
Good night.
Yeah, everybody,
Everybody.
get some sleep.
Yes,
Go to
please.
bed.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, before you go, Tom, don't kill it yet. One more
Okay.
thing. The secret of